Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Career Orientation for LAMS Junior High School Department. Today, we have several guests with us who will share their vast experiences, not just from work, but from their way to developing or going up to their own careers, how they made their choices, the challenges that they faced, and what people, our students, for example, or audience can expect if they want to pursue a career in these various fields. Before we start, let's have our opening prayer to be led by Mr. Rodel M. Agustin.
So good morning, everyone. So before we formally start this orientation, so let's just first ask the guidance of our Lord. Let us bow our head in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, thank you for this wonderful day that you have given us. Thank you for your presence, O Lord, that you are here to help us in every activity that we make. May this event become a remarkable and possible and a successful one to enlighten the minds of the students to be determined and courageous in achieving their desired and chosen profession. May you send forth the Holy Spirit to guide us always. Forgive our shortcomings, O Lord, that always we commit mistakes for not following your will. This we ask and pray in the mighty name of Jesus, our Savior, one God, forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Sir Rodel. I'd like to request everyone to show the proper respect as we proceed with our Philippine national anthem.
Kayang magiliw, ewas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong panggaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng walang pagsinta, mo'y langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga amin, ang pagkay ng dahil sa'yo.
Once again, hello and good morning to everyone to the career orientations for school year 2021-2022. Today is March 18, and in this program, we hope to share with our students the various experiences and advice that they can garner from our speakers from different industries and different places all across the NCR and here in Region 3. To formally open our program for today, we have welcome remarks as given to us by the Vice President of Lord's Angels Montessori School Incorporated, Ma'am Maria Myra M. Pinca.
To our ever-charming school principal, Mrs. Corazon S. San Pedro, and to our dazzling OIC of the Junior High School Department, Sir Jairus Phoenix, our faculty and staff, dear parents, beloved junior high school students, a pleasant day to you all. Maraming salamat sa araw na ito at nabigyan natin ng pagkakataon ang isa sa pinakamahalagang programa ng ating paaralan para sa inyong mga magsisipagtapos ng junior high school. This is one of the most vital program of our school because it is designed to prepare students to have a greater understanding of educational and career opportunities and options, and to assist you in making meaningful and informed career choices which would result in your social, financial, and emotional well being in the future. Dear students, you are in high school right now. You are at a great point in your life. You have your whole life in front of you. And now it is the right time to start thinking about your future, to make some initial plans. We are here to help you see a variety of available academic options that suit your interest and potential. Not everyone is fortunate enough to be able to choose their own professional path, but you have a great leg up. You were fortunate to be born with the opportunity. We only hope that you remain open to this. Let the idea which will be presented to you rest on your shoulders as you move forward into the next stage of your life. Let it lend the weight to your decision making. And as you move forward, try not to compare yourself to others. The path towards a meaningful career in life is highly personal, and the voice you listen to must always be your own. The great and exciting challenge for you is to discover your own trail. Again, thank you so much for taking time to join in this significant undertaking. Good luck, and may God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Myra. Uh, we all agree na ang ating mga students ay meron ng opportunity and potential. And in this activity, in this event today, our career orientation, we hope to further inspire and enhance these potentials of our students. Okay, at this time, we'd like to introduce our guests for today. Just a quick reminder for everyone, our program is not your typical career orientation where our guests will do a short presentation for their careers. This is going to be more of a dynamic interview type, like talk show type format para medyo mas comfortable tayong lahat and we can have a livelier time having our discussion of our orientation. Our students have already prepared questions through their homeroom and guidance program, but throughout the program, they may have follow up or additional questions, which we will post later at the bottom of the screen for our uh, guests to answer and respond to. And to introduce them, first, our first guest is a graduate with a degree in the Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering from the University of Santo Tomas. He also has a master's in business administration, major in building and property management from the University of Makati. He is a licensed environmental planner, real estate consultant, real estate appraiser, and real estate broker. He has worked in the Department of Agriculture as a project development officer. He also currently works at the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, Homeowners Association, and Community Development Bureau as the Chief of the Capacity Development Division in Quezon City since March 2021 to present. And he is the Vice President of Operations for Land Strong Incorporated, also in Quezon City. Ladies and gentlemen, Engineer Remark Boggs K. Goldchow.
Good morning,
Morning.
everyone.
Good morning,
Pleasant
Boggs.
morning to our students. Good morning, Sir Jai.
Thank you. Our next guest for today is a graduate with a degree in Bachelor of Arts in Animation from De La Salle College of St. Benil. He has worked as a technical assistant for Assisi Development Foundation and a motion graphic animator and visual effects artist for the studio of Secret Six Incorporated in Manila. Ladies and gentlemen, Joshua Gabriel D. Phoenix. Hello, Josh.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Our next guest He's a graduate with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Accountancy from San Beda College in Manila. He has worked as an auditor, as an accountant, as a corporate assurance officer in various companies such as L&T International Group Philippines, Unong Bayan and Araulio in Makati, and Deutsche Knowledge Services Limited. He is currently the proprietor of Kier Manufacturing Enterprises. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ronald P. Suniga. Good morning, Sir Ronald.
Hi, good morning everyone. Good morning, my dear students.
And our last guest for today is a graduate of St. Paul College University with a degree in Bachelor of Arts in Communication Arts. She also has a diploma in Industrial Relations from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Her career spans from being a research assistant in UP Diliman to being an account manager and supervisor for various companies such as the Adformatic Selection, AB Communications Incorporated, and HQ11 Design Laboratory. She has also worked as vice president and head of marketing and events for Laurel Media and Entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Maria Blesilda Pilar M. Sanchez. Good morning, Ma'am Bless.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, junior high school students. Hi.
Okay. Thank you very much, our dear guests, for taking the time of your busy schedule to join us today and sharing your knowledge and experience with all of our students. So, again, this is going to be more of a talk show format. I will be the one who will be moderating the discussions. Sir Flo Pearl is our homeroom guidance program coordinator, is assisting us on the technical aspect and is collecting the questions from our students so that later on, once our speakers have shared their various experiences, if you have any other follow up questions, you can just send it via the question link you can see on your screen. Okay. So, today we have many things that we'd like to discuss. And actually, medyo mag-shift ako ng tone para medyo relax tayo. Yan. Um, Gusto lang kasi din natin na mabigyan ng guidance ang ating mga students sa ano nga ba ang mga possible careers, especially now in the digital age. Ang daming options na available. And ang daming skills. Kasama ng options, ang daming skills na required para makuha mo yung talagang career na masasabi mong it's really your own. So, before any of that though, syempre, kailangan meron tayong motivation. Meron tayong nakuhang guidance. Meron tayong nakuhang goal when we were young para pumili at mag-pursue ng career. Dear guests, ano nga ba yung naging motivation natin nung bata pa lang tayo? When we were young, what motivated you for pursuing the careers that you have now? Ma'am Bless, especially Ma'am Bless has the longest career line, pinakamadaming na experience sa lahat ng mga guests natin, and she has witnessed yung iba-ibang mga transitions natin sa when we're talking about the industries, paano ba siya nag-iba through technology, kasi 'di ba dumating tayo sa time na I remember when the Philippines was not yet as digitally advanced as we are now. Yung internet dati, sobrang bagal. Ngayon, ang mga students natin nagre-reklamo pagka ang internet speed nila ay sabihin mo ng 3 Mbps. Pero di ba umabot tayo sa time na masaya na tayo na 180 kbps lang. Kbps pa yun, kilobytes per second. Ma'am Bless, ikaw, what was your motivation for pursuing the career that you have now?
Nako, Sir Jai, I must say, through the years, yung more than 30 long years of experience and hard work, hindi ganun kadali. Life is not easy, my dear students. But for as long as you have that drive, the passion, at alam mo kung ano yung gusto mong marating, walang imposible. And that has been my mantra in life. sige lang ng laban. Kasi at the end of the day, ikaw naman ang mag-prove sa sarili mo, di ba? Hindi mo pwedeng iasa sa iba kung ano ang magiging takbo ng buhay mo. So, I must say that you just have to be fearless. You just have to be goal-driven. Kasi kung wala yon, walang mangyayari. Kahit anong preparation mo, kung hindi set yung mind mo, so nasa correct mindset yan. Yun. That was my motivation. And up to now, even if I believe that I'm still a work in progress, laban lang.
When did
Thank
you
you.
know, Ma'am Bless, na marketing was the career that you'd like to pursue?
Well, I started working at 20. I graduated at 19, and then I started working at 20. I remember when I was starting, ang first job ko was as a research assistant at UP, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs Office. Doon ko natutunan yung basics, admin work, even to the point na kailangan aralin mo yung simple as answering phone calls, inaaral yun. Kasi ako, pag sumagot ng phone, hello? Hindi pala ganon. Lagi akong na-technical ng boss ko. And if you're familiar with the late Louis Beltran, he was my first boss. Imagine yung baptism of fire ko, sa kanya ko natutunan. And alam ko yung iba sa inyo hindi kilala si Louis Beltran, but you can research, you can Google him, and you'll know that he is a fearful journalist. Sa kanya nga natakot si ex-president, the late Cory Aquino eh. Kasi I remember yung statement niya na nagtago daw sa ilalim ng kama si Cory Aquino. Hindi totoo yon. Of course, that was a hyperbole, di ba? Hindi ano yun eh, hindi um, nararamdaman or hindi alam ng mga tao yon, but magkakaibigan. And the former Senator Ninoy Aquino and Louis Beltran are friends way back. So, nung nangyari yon, talagang anyway, sobrang ang dami kong kwento, ang dami kong may share, but um, the main goal here is that yung motivation na sinasabi natin, yun, kailangan talaga nasa sa inyo yun. No amount of motivation coming from different sectors in life will ever prepare you for life's challenges. Kayo yun. So dapat armado kayo when it comes to being fearless, when it comes to being passionate, dapat nandoon lahat yun. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Bless. Si Boggs, for the information of our audience, I've known him since college and beyond. Sir Boggs, ikaw ba? Ano yung naging motivation mo to pursue your current career? Si Boggs, hindi ka nag-pursue talaga ng IE, di ba?
Hindi po, Sir Jai. So siguro kwento ko lang saglit yung background ko. When I graduated, I started working for our family business, which is a property management. And syempre, ang inisip siguro ng mga tao na, aba, okay yan na pagka-graduate mo, mataas kagad position mo, ganito ganyan, because you're the vice president of the company. But of course, hindi ibig sabihin na mataas yung position mo, sitting pretty ka na lang. Ika nga, sige, mga bata dito nakapanood na ng Spider-Man, and gas-gas na to na, na dialogue na with greater power comes greater responsibilities. So, totoo po yan. It's applicable yung ganyang klaseng statement. And since yung family business namin is just a small scale business, we have to ayun, sorry, medyo naputol yata. We have to learn, and continuous learning pa rin yan. Hindi yan siya napuputol sa na-achieve mo na yung yung mataas kagad na position. No, you have a great responsibility to make your organization or your company to lead them into success. As for the motivation, yung sinabi nga ni Ma'am Bless, yung yung iyong passion, gusto ko lang okay yun, and gusto ko po dagdagan na you have you need to know your purpose in life then. So of course you have to seek for the Lord's guidance kung ano man, kung saan ka ilalagay ng Panginoon para maging useful ka sa society. So kagaya nito, I've been in the industry for 9 years before I started working here in the government. So nagkaroon naman ng transition eh. So from the private industry, and then naging consultant ako for the Department of Agriculture. And from there, I learned na mukhang marami tayong magagawa sa gobyerno. So siguro Sir Jai, gusto ko na lang din i-plug ng konti, no? Usually kasi pag nasa college ka na or nasa university, ang madalas mong naririnig na pagka-graduate mo, makahanap ka ng trabaho, ng malaking sweldo, ganun kagad yung nagiging mindset eh. So, gusto ko sana medyo baguhin ng konti yung stigma na yan na ah, pwede naman siguro na pagka-graduate mo, saan ka mas magiging useful at kapaki-pakinabang sa ating society. So, with that, I would also like to encourage our students na consider also working for the government or public sector. So, hindi naman porket nasa gobyerno, corrupt, ganyan. Yan yung nagiging stigma eh. No,
Aray.
kung meron man kayo nakikitang ganyan, konti lang po sila. Dito po sa office natin, we are always, pagkagising po namin sa umaga, ang inisip po namin, how can we serve our clients well. So, yun po, I think kahit naman sa private sector, ganun din naman ang mindset natin. So, it doesn't matter if you're in the public or private, as long as yung iyong, yung iyong integrity, do not test yan eh. So, ayun, ang ano ko lang talaga is know your purpose then when choosing your career.
Thank you very much, Tito Bogs. Ang gandang sentiment, ano? Alamin natin kung saan tayo pwedeng maging useful, kung saan tayo makakatulong. Hindi lang yung puro papera, which is a very good mindset to have. Kasi syempre ang gusto rin natin, mapaganda yung, hindi lang yung sarili natin, pero yung yung komunidad natin. Josh, you're one of the younger participants that we have today, and perhaps you can have a fresher perspective na mas makaka-relate sa mga students. How did you come up with the motivation, or how did you figure out that you wanted to pursue a career in animation?
Well, okay. So, I mean, first of all, I don't know if it's
Ganda ng
necessarily.
boses.
Thank you po. I don't know if it's necessarily
Killer
fresher.
voice.
Pero as when I was young, as and growing up and trying to figure myself out, I had to find out what it was that I was really interested in. I had to find out what it was that I was really passionate about, and so that came with it. Parang trying to figure out what it was that I was really interested in. Because I remember having this conversation with Papa, was I don't want to get stuck doing something that didn't interest me, that would just basically like not to be grim, but it would like kill me inside kasi hindi ko gusto yung ginagawa ko. I wouldn't be happy. So, and that's why I'm very fortunate. I'm very privileged na we had parents that were very supportive of us. Kasi that Papa was the one who encouraged me to, okay, so do what it is that you will find joy in. And so that got me into pursuing like animation. Kasi as a child, I was a big fan of like just consuming media. I was in front of the television like all the time.
Alam ko yun.
Diba? And it was always like cartoons, it was always like movies, animes, video games, and I was obsessed with it, for lack of a better word, and that kind of drove me into the whole creative industry. To which I initially chose animation. So in Binild we have an animation course, and they teach you how to animate a bunch of different things, from effects to characters to environment, for film. And for me that was very, very enticing, because I grew up watching this stuff. I wanted to make it, I wanted to create, and then I wanted to share. And then from there it kind of spiraled on, because as I was learning how to animate, I also discovered I wasn't very good at it. And so there came this sort of, as I was going through college, and then eventually as I started working, my the early days of my career, na-realize ko na, okay, hindi ako magaling mag-animate, hindi rin ako sobrang galing mag-drawing, hindi rin ako sobrang galing mag-design ng logos and stuff. So ano ba talaga yung kaya kong gawin? And then napadpad ako sa first napadpad ako sa graphic design, tapos napadpad ako sa motion graphics for ads, and now I find myself in visual effects, which where I feel like I truly belong. And so I think if there's one thing uh, I would like to kind of impart when you're trying to choose a career, it's that you will continuously learn something about yourself. And through that learning process, you will eventually find, yun nga, yung sabi ni Sir Bogs, na ano ba yung purpose mo? Saan ka ba nag-fit? And para sa akin, I I always felt like I belonged in the creative space, making things and sharing it with other people. Um, and and throughout my career, I've figured out where I belong further within that space. Na okay, the whole sort of game development machine, I am in the effects part, and that's where I would like to stay, and that's hopefully moving forward to na rin ako. So, um,
Okay.
yun. I guess ito, share ko
Yeah.
lang. Speaking of work, this is where I found myself in now. So, what we're about to show you is the gameplay trailer for a game called Project Sandata. It's a 3v3 shooter that is developed right here in the Philippines. So if you ever thought na games are only made internationally, or like this is an industry na masyadong na mahirap makapasok in, well, it takes work, it takes effort, pero it's possible, you can do it. You just have to work at it. So
Can we play
yeah,
the
please
clip? Go
enjoy.
ahead.
Yeah, please enjoy the trailer.
Um, Network
Like it.
limitations natin sa Pinas.
Oh, that's okay. Oh no, he's back.
Sayang nag-lag.
Oo nga eh.
Pero yung mga familiar sa like Valorant and such,
Yeah. Ang peg actually namin dito is Halo. If kung at saka Quake. For yung mga nakakaalala pa ng Quake. Yon.
Very old school eh, no?
anyway, medyo naglalag
We
kasi
can-
nga yung network limitations natin sa Pilipinas. Pero yan.
Yeah.
Playing it better now.
Uh,
Pero,
we can link na lang the trailer, I guess, in the chat, for people to watch.
pero this is the
Ah.
first, if I correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, no, this is the first video game that's developed in the Philippines.
Not exactly the first video game, but it is like the first shooter that's parang esports ready.
Esports
Ang
ready.
ay
Ah,
ang goal kasi ng Secret Six for this is eventually we get enough player base and then we go to esports. So it's a very long road
it's
down
a
the
very
line.
ambitious
So
road, definitely.
yeah, and just that just goes to show you na ano na eh, ready na tayo for that kind of development. We just have to. Kasi uh, karamihan rin ng ano sa atin is ano eh, parang laging outsourcing.
Uh-uh.
And then Secret Six was just like, you know, to heck with it. Let's
When
make
is this
our
going
own
to be
game.
launched in the market, Joshua?
Early access po namin sa 22, March 22 next week actually. So,
Okay.
sobrang
Imagine tayo
Cotton.
ang first audience to this game.
yeah,
And
yeah.
apart from this one, your team's already also involved in some games for like the PlayStation.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't mention any of the projects.
Uh,
Pero
pero ang
we
na-release na definitely Medieval's already been released eh. Or well, hindi pa
medieval,
ba?
yes.
Medieval's been
Yeah, hindi pa pa.
announced for the PS4.
Release na.
Oo, so yon
Para
yon.
sa mga nakakaalala ng medieval.
Sa mga nakakaalam po or may PS4 dyan, you can check that out.
Yeah.
Filipino developers help in coming up with that.
Mm-mm.
Which certainly would be something na, uy, oo nga, pwede pala kami doon. Yan.
Yeah.
Sir Ronald, go ahead, sir. Ikaw ba, as an accountant, anong nakamotivate sa'yo when you were young to pursue accounting?
Pwedeng mag-calculator sa course namin.
Sana all.
No, we're ano kasi, we're a family, the family is mostly into business. So, yun yung ang nangyari doon. Tapos, at during college kasi, well, elementary days, I always see my father using yung old school. Wala pa mga computers noon, wala pa anything. Yung malalaking worksheets. Okay, tapos he uses the calculator. Sometimes he lets me use the calculator para mag-tabulate or mag-foot nung mga information, ano siya, dire-diretso. Magta-typewriter ka, ganun. Magka-calculator ka. So, tapos, siguro, for me not to get bored during college, he asked me to, he asked yung kakilala niya dun sa office if I could work sa factory. Okay? Now, ang nangyari, they taught me kung paano ba gumagana yung business. Okay, paano siya gumagana? Okay? Kung paano siya gumagana, 'di ba? Nangyari doon, ako kasi I'm not pretty sure kung saan talaga ako pupunta when I was studying. Okay? Yung kina Sir Josh, yung time na nandun sila, medyo ano na established na yung IT, yung information technology. Okay, nandun na siya. Okay na yan. Noong time namin, it was emerging. Okay? It was emerging. Alam niyo naman sa Philippines, 'di ba? Ma-hype dito sa atin eh. Uso nursing tayo. Uso computer science tayo. Now, I was ako kasama ako dun sa mga old school. Okay? Classic career yung nasa akin. Okay? Classic
Traditional.
career? Yeah, it's a very traditional career kasi you're just in business. Pero as you gain experience, diba nabanggit ni Sir Jai kanina, I worked as an auditor initially. Okay, so that was that was the what you call this, yung official na after graduation, after passing the board exam. Okay? So,
Turning point.
yun yung siya nag-start siya as an auditor. Now you learn more about the business. Okay, so halimbawa sina Sir Joss, sina Ma'am Bless, sina Sir Bogs, kami yung nasa likod. Okay, we do the operation side. We do the accounting, 'di ba? So yun yung now I was motivated knowing about the business, okay, and how it works. And how you will help the people kasi usually accounting ano yan medyo na marami siyang pwedeng puntahan na course na I only discovered when I started working. Okay, maganda siya, exciting siya. Exciting tong career na to. Now, ultimately, I ended up teaching. Okay, I think it was not mentioned earlier na I am also teaching in Lord's Angels Montessori sa senior high school, handling specialized subjects for ABM. I'm handling fundamentals of accountancy, Business and Management Part 1 and Part 2, Business Finance and Applied Economics. Okay, so, and I'm also teaching in college sa La Consolacion University, Philippines. So, I wasn't expecting that. Pero I find it uh, medyo nakaka-motivate din pala na after you gain experience, you give back and teach the younger generation. Maka younger generation naman si Sir Ronald, di ba?
Palabas ang edad.
Wala na akong magawa eh, di ba? So, so yun yung ano natin. So, ang motivation ko lang talaga, literally, uh, ang unang motivation ko is sa course na to pwede mag-calculator. I'm not really good at math. So don't get the impression na pagka gusto mo mag-business or gusto mo mag-accounting, magaling ka sa mathematics. Okay? So I'm telling you that. Now, ano yung naging kasunod na motivation ko? Is this. When I saw my I was given an example by my father na ang dami niyang sinasama niya ako when I was still a child, high school, elementary, sinasama niya ako providing trainings para sa mga clients niya kung paano mag-taxation, paano gumawa ng recording, paano ayusin yung sistema ng business. And then, that inspired me para mag-pursue, di ba? Now, and then, ang maganda nito, na-apply ko siya ngayon as a proprietor din, di ba? So, meron kaming small business, okay, na na-apply natin yung mga natutunan natin, 'di ba? Para sa college, 'di ba? Yun yung sa akin. Sir Jai,
Yeah.
ayan sir, okay na po. Yun yung usually nag-motivate sa akin. Sina Sir Bogs, masaya yung sa kanila, 'di ba? Yung ano, uh, is a very versatile yung mga na-invite natin dito. Generation wise, tapos 'di ba? Yung iba't ibang ma-share natin. Meron tayong nasa public work, 'di ba? Sa government. Ang
Yes.
cool din nun, 'di ba?
Yes,
So,
sir.
ayun, 'di ba? Ayan ka. Okay na ako, Sir Jai.
And thank you very much, Sir Ronald. No? So, ang dami-dami pa pwedeng mag-motivate sa atin na iba-ibang careers. And we have to, actually, isa rin sa mga na ano ko yun, gusto ko sanang mabanggit kanina na may generations na sa trend sumusunod. I remember that was our generation eh. Kami ni Tito Bogs yun eh. Ang nursing, ang trend. When we were in high
Nursing.
school, ang daming nag-nursing. So, kahit kami noon, I studied at Don Bosco Technical Institute in Makati. Technical Institute, so you would expect engineering ang mga kukunin nila. Eh mga classmates ko puro nursing ang
Engineering and Sciences sa
in
inyo sa Don
college.
Bosco.
Oo. Kasi yun yung nakita nilang motivation na it's an up and moving career during the time. Pero
I think,
as we
Sir
notice
Jai,
kasi
ano siya,
iba-iba yung trends. So
I
hindi ka
think, Sir,
nagpapagod sa ganon.
Sir Jai, what happened was, ang observation ko, nakita ko doon kasi, I don't know if it's a Philippine thing or a Filipino thing na they follow the money,
Mm.
'di ba? Pero I think money is secondary. Okay? Once you enjoy what you're doing,
The
once
money
you
will
enjoy
come.
what you're doing, regardless kung magkano yung binabayad sa'yo or magkano yung kinikita mo. As sabi nga ni Sir Josh kanina, 'di ba? Ito yung gusto mong ginagawa eh. Then it will come naturally. Parang ano yan, Sir Jai, lagi ko sinasabi dun sa mga estudyante, your grades is directly proportional on what you have learned. Habang marami kang natututunan, tumataas yung grades mo. Pag wala kang natututunan, nga. O, di ba? Pero most of the time, then same thing din. If you're happy with what you're doing, you will not notice, pero you're already improving on your salary, on your way of life. That's true.
If I may add also, I believe that apart from motivation, another driving force that we must be open to is when it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. If you agree with me on that. Ako,
Agree.
hindi naman ako philosophical na tao, but pag nangyari talaga, if it's destined to happen, earlier you made mention, Sir Jai, na bakit ako nasa marketing, wherein ang aking inclination was communication arts. Okay, I graduated AB Communication Arts. My first career was a research assistant in a government agency. And then 1988, ayoko mag-mention ng year. Kaya lalabas at lalabas. But believe me guys, I'm proud of my age. I'm turning 60 in a few months, but wala naman sa mukha yun, di ba? Nasa experience, nasa attitude, di ba? Kaya nga, yung first mantra ko is be fearless, thank you Sir Flo, in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. Ako, late bloomer ako, I must admit. Ngayon pa lang ako nagbo-bloom. Ngayon ko pa lang nadi-discover yung sarili ko. Kasi at an early age, hindi ko alam kung saan ako pupunta. And kayong mga junior high school at yung mga senior high school, dadating kayo dun sa punto na hindi nyo pa alam kung saan ba kayo dadalhin nung mga sinasabi nating passion. Yung passion na yan, lilipad yan sa ere kapag nagugutom ka na, 'di ba? Lilipad lahat sa ere yung pag sinabing nauna yung passion mo na umibig, 'di ba? Yung mga bata diyan na nagbo-boyfriend agad tapos nag-aasawa agad, mga anak, hindi 'yon ang be all and end all of your career. Kaya nga career orientation yung topic natin because we are preparing you for life's challenges. Pag dumating na kayo dun sa point na tapos na kayo ng junior high, mangangarag pa kayo, hindi nyo pa alam kung anong strand, anong kukunin nyo sa senior high. For some of you or for most of you, I'm sure clueless pa kayo. Okay? But when you're in senior high school, in fact, a few days ago, nag-grad pictorial ang senior high school. Right, Sir Jai? Right,
Yes.
Ron? And during that stage, yung inoobserbahan ko lang yung ating mga senior high school students, ina-quandary pa sila. Nagtatanungan pa nga sila kung saan ba sila pupunta eh. Well, anyways, as I was saying, I discovered marketing or advertising was the career of choice. Why? Because nagkaroon ng opportunity. After being in the government for 5 years, yung former boss ko sinabi niya sa akin, Bless, diyan ka na ba tatanda? Walang pera dito sa gobyerno. Ngayon, ano ba talaga yung calling mo? Eh ako, matigas ang ulo ko. Bata pa lang ako, I know that I'm so stubborn, but I have the fire within. So, parang I had to listen to my inner voice. Sir Flo, i-flash natin yung isang happiness in the pursuit of happiness. Anyway, yes, yan. Whatever you decide to do, make sure that it makes you happy. Ngayon, hindi ko pa rin masasabi na happy-happy na ba ako? Eh magsi-60 na ako. Feeling ko, whip pa rin ako. Work in progress. Why? Because ang dami ko pang pangarap na hindi natutupad. And young as you are now, mga anak, junior high school, 15, 17, bata pa kayo, enjoyin nyo muna yung buhay nyo. Pagdating nyo ng senior high school, enjoy, pero isa puso, listen to the voice of experience. Kasi, kaya kami minsan, ang mga teachers ninyo, nagagalit, kasi hindi yon dahil galit kami. Gusto namin lang kayong ilagay o i-direct dun sa path na alam namin na dahil pinagdaanan namin yun eh. Hindi ba? Agree ba kayo mga anak ko na nandito? Kasi si Sir Jai parang anak ko. My eldest daughter is almost 35. But as a mom, I'm a cool mom at kahit ang reputasyon ko dito sa LAMS ay fierce, 'di ba? Para akong tigre dito, I must admit, oo. Pero compassionate pa rin ako. Akala nyo lang yung aura ko na to ay sobrang tapang, but deep inside I'm a soft. And you must believe me. Believe me, iyakin po ako. Emotional po ako. But meron pong back. Kasi nga po, naniniwala ako na yung mga kabataan ngayon, kung isa sa puso lang ninyo, kung ano ba talaga yung nasa puso, wag lang ito, kailangan balanse. EQ and IQ, it works hand in hand. Hindi pwedeng dati, pag nag-apply ka sa trabaho, ang barometer for success ay IQ, hindi ba? Kung number one ito sa college, ay tanggapin natin ito. But nowadays, yung mga employers ngayon, they look for a candidate that has the number one when it comes to EQ. Why? Because at the end of the day, kung ano nilalaman ng puso mo, lalabas yan eh. Ang dami pong struggles pag ikaw ay nag-uumpisa sa trabaho. Hindi ko kayo dinidiscourage junior high school students. In fact, nandito kami para suportahan kayo. And you must be thankful that LAMS has this career orientation program that will help you. We will provide you with all the tools that you will need once you enter that life-changing moment of your life. Yun po. Sige po, magsalita na po yung iba. Later na po ako magsasalita.
Ay, sooner than you think, Ma'am Bless. Thank you very much for our speakers for the first portion of our discussion. Now I'd like to move to challenges. One of the themes of our discussion today is about overcoming and facing these challenges. So, first I'd like to ask, simulan natin to from uh, seasoned to less seasoned. Yan, ha? Yan, para medyo mapakinggan. So we'll start with Bambles and then we'll move to Sir Ronald, Sir Boggs, and then Joshua at the last but not least. So let's the next question we have here kasi, what challenges did you face and overcome during your education and training? Kasi syempre, yung mga students natin, gusto nilang as of now, we need to guide them on junior high school ako, ano nga bang strand kukunin ko? Para pag nag-college ako, naka-align, naka-angkla na, ready na. So that my career will move towards that. Ideally. We say ideally kasi as our speakers have shared, hindi necessarily kung ano yung naging program or degree mo ng college, na po-pursue mo siya 100%. Minsan nagkakaroon ng deviations. Pero at least meron na tayong guidance. Meron tayong magandang base. So ano yung challenges na na-face nyo? Tulungan natin sila para makaisip-isip sila, lalo yung grade 10 who are currently now facing the concern of ano nga bang kukunin kong strand for senior high school. Anong challenges yung hinarap nyo during education and training? Ma'am Bless, let's start with you.
Ako talaga, no, Sir Jai. Anyways, challenges. Balikan natin. Going down memory lane, nung high school ako, wala pa yung mga strands na yan. Walang K to 12 eh, 'di ba? Nung panahon natin, at admitin ninyo, hindi ko alam
Diretso
kung si
college tayo
Joshua,
nun eh.
hindi
True.
inabot ng K to 12, 'di ba?
Diretso
Ako nung
college.
ko ang high school, first year to fourth year, naglalaro-laro. Hindi ko pa nga alam kung anong course eh. So finally, nung college na, when I enrolled in St. Paul College, Manila, ang first course ko, would you believe, was home economics. Eh, hindi ako marunong magluto. My God! O, diba?
Ouch.
Ano yan revelation yan. So, first sem, may mga science subjects, chemistry, math. I remember, grabe, nagka-line of 7 ako. So, sabi ko, oh my God, ito ba talaga ang calling ko? No. So I shifted on the second sem, lumipat ako sa AB, Liberal Arts, Communication Arts. From then on, from second sem of first year up to fourth year, tinapos ko yon kasi ine-enjoy ko. Pero, nung fourth year, college, dahil doon na lalabas yung mga practicum, alright? Or yung mga major subjects. I remember nag-practicum ako sa isang advertising agency. At ang toka sa akin was to be part of preparing the jingle. Okay? Jingle. Familiar kayo sa mga jingle, di ba? Alam nyo yung jingle. Yan yung mga nagkakaroon ng high recall when it comes to TV commercials. Kapag walang jingle, medyo boring.
Paborito ko sa Asahi.
Correct, 'di ba? So, nung tinoka sa akin yung ikaw yung magpe-prepare ng jingle. Diyos ko, di pumunta ka. pumunta kami sa isang production studio. At yun pala, ganun pala ginagawa yung jingle. May talent, may kakanta, etc. etc. Hindi ko siniserious yun. Okay? Wala yan sa hiblan ng experience ko na, ano ba yan? Anyways, so nabigyan kami ng grade, ang ganda ng grade namin, wala naman akong natatanda ang naging contribution other than ako ay pumupunta lang dun sa production studio para makinig dun sa jingle maker at jingle talent namin. Anyway, eto na. Pagdating na sa career, hindi pa rin po ako seryoso. Okay? The first 4 years, yun nga, dahil sa gobyerno ako nag-start, wala pa. But when my boss told me, ito ba, dito ka ba tatanda, Bless? So, that's it. Parang may inner voice na nagsabi sa akin na, wag yan. Nagkaroon ng opportunity in an advertising agency, and that the first advertising agency that I joined was named Reach Advertising, REACH. Sila ay classic, sila yung pioneer. Kumbaga kalaban nila yung mga multinational giants in the advertising world. Kasi sila yung launch ng popular, well, hindi kayo makaka-relate mga anak kasi talaga mga classic eh. Granny
Try
Guzman,
us.
Toyota, etc. etc. But then, it became a realization on my part na ang sarap pala nitong field na to. But hindi ko to sineryoso ng college. Anyway, from then on, up to more than 30 years, that has spanned my career in advertising. Above the line, below the line, direct to consumers, and then all the way up to client side na ang pinaka-last experience ko in marketing was in East West when I became the Assistant Vice President for Marketing Communications. Ang sarap. Totally high. Kasi doon ko naranasan na ito pala yung calling ko. And then challenges nga, balikan natin yung challenges. Ang daming challenges kasi itong sinasabing technical in IT world na ganyan. Would you believe up to now, low-tech pa rin ako. Pagdating sa challenge ng teacher ako, ngayon sa senior high school, may struggle ako sa doing summary of grades. Kasi nga, hindi ako ganun ka high-tech pagdating sa Excel. Pero, pagdating sa reporting, presentation, teaching, hindi ko po yun kine-question. Hindi ko po yun tatalikuran. Hindi ako umaalma dyan. Lahat yan haharapin ko. I believe may kanya-kanya tayong expertise. May kanya-kanya tayong strengths and weaknesses. Ang strength ko, alam ko. Pero ako, aminado ako kung ano yung mga weaknesses ko. So, yun. Dapat aware tayo. Dapat ready tayo to face all these challenges. Kasi wala, mapapag-iwanan po tayo. So, yun lang po ang masasabi ko sa inyong mga kabataan. Have no fear. Lahat yan kakayanin. Anything is possible.
Ma'am
Alright?
Bless, Ma'am Bless, may I add lang din. And for our other guests, when you have your turn, in terms of your career, ano yung pros and cons ng career mo? Para rin madagdagan natin yung guidance na makita nila, ay, gusto ko ba tong career na to? Is this for
Okay.
me? Anong pros and cons, ma'am? Para maano natin, mag-guide din natin sila further.
Dahil ang linya ko nga for the last 30 years of my career was in marketing communications and advertising, sobrang dynamic ng industry na yan. Nando doon, dyan makikita mo yung mga highest earners, okay? Why? Because yung mga creative directors, yung mga copywriters, yung mga art directors, grabe, sila yung mga sikat. But ako, dahil ako ay nasa account management, client servicing, hindi kami sikat. Kami nga yung glamorized account executive, kung tawagin nga nila during my time eh. Pero ine-enjoy ko yon. Bakit? Ang interface ko with my clients, sa amin nagsisimula. Yung bilib na bilib ang kliyente sa amin pag nag-present kami kasi hindi naman ang mga creative directors ang nagpe-present sa harap ng kliyente. Kami ang nagde-defend ng mga storyboards, ng mga big ideas, creative presentations, lahat yan. Kailangan alam mo. That is why dito sa school, sa LAMS, pinapractice ko yan. Praktisado ko yung pag-grill doon sa oral defense. 'Di ba, Sir Jai? Sir Ron? Kasi inaral namin yan. Nasa training, part ng training ko na kapag hindi mo alam yung ginagawa mo, bumalik ka muna doon sa ahensya mo. When I say ahensya, I meant advertising agency. Kasi kung ikaw pala ay hindi magsasalita at hindi mo i-defend, okay, yung iyong storyboard, ano pa? So dapat alam na alam mo kung sabi nga nila, you have to walk the talk. Alright? Otherwise, hindi magiging believable, hindi ka magiging credible. Kaya nga yung mga kliyente namin, kahit minsan sabihin lang namin na okay ba yung trabaho? To the point na kailangan kong manamit ng kahit ano. Alright? I remember in one of my experiences, sales convention ng Colgate Palmolive, nasa Cebu kami. Ang ganda-ganda ng accommodation namin. Pero dahil nung program proper na at merong hindi dumating na talent, Diyos ko, would you believe kinailangan kong magdamit ng isang puno. Alright? At yung marketing director nung aming ahensya, alright, at nung client side, Colgate Palmolive yun. You know naman that Colgate Palmolive is a global company, hindi siya local. Ang marketing director nga namin at the time was an Australian, Mr. Graham Lane. And he would tell everyone, guys, have no fear. We are all fair in this name game. Okay? Walang may posisyon-posisyon. Lahat tayo pantay-pantay. Meron tayong kanya-kanyang role. Okay? So, yun dapat ang lagi nyong isa sa isip. These are the pros and cons that you have to know so that when it's time for you to face your career path, alam nyo na kung anong gagawin nyo. Open-minded, chin up, laban. Laging laban pa rin. Walang kinakatakutan.
Thank you, Ma'am Blair. Sir Ronald, same question. What challenges did you face
Well,
during training? Tsaka yung pros and cons, sir, ng accounting.
sige. Well, during training, we were lucky lang kasi na yung school namin already provided yung parang pinaka-TLE namin before, nung high school kami. Nakaano na siya. It's a mixture of, we have drafting, we have business entrepreneurship, we have yung it's pinapakita na sa amin kung ano yung mga possible na pwede namin puntahan and then kung saan kami magiging interested. Okay? Ang first choice ko talaga was in an IT field. Okay, so yun yung choice ko. Hindi ko naman kasi naisip na, yun nga, biruan na yung father ko. Pero nung pagdating nung college, okay, meron na kaming bookkeeping subject nung high school. Okay, wala kaming junior high school, wala kaming senior high school eh. So meron ko yung bookkeeping, which is yung fundamentals of accounting, yung very first part nun. Okay, so I'm hindi ko inaasahan na I was able to grasp yung topic. Okay? So, parang madali lang sa akin na i-check yung mga business transactions and everything na makita yan. And then, tawag ko dito, ang masaya nun, tawag ko dito, IT, saka yung mga computer subjects namin, saka yung sa business entrepreneurship, okay, na meron kami nun. Medyo maganda yung nakukuha kong grado. Okay? So, yun yung nakikita ko. Pero ang first choice nga, IT kasi yun yung emerging nun nung time namin. Yung IT business, di ba? Nag-ano lang siya. Now, pagdating nung college, ito yung pinaka-challenging sa lahat, di ba? Ang sabi kasi sa school na pinag-applyan ko, okay, pwede ka sa accountancy program namin. Ayan na. Pwede daw ako sa accountancy program. So, sabi nila, to be able to convince me, sabi nila, yung father mo is an accountant, CPA yung father mo. Why not Follow his footsteps. So, eto naman si Sir Ronald. O nga, CPA tatay ko, sige, go. So, iwan yung IT. So, yun yung ano natin. Eto na. Sabi ko, bakit yung mga kaklase ko, every time na papasok kami, nakakasagot? Pag ako yung nasa classroom, parang, ano yung gagawin ko? Tayo dyan. No, syempre, challenge na siya eh. Major subjects, di ba? No one introduced us with college life. Hindi namin alam na pag dumating ang prof, sasagot lang kayo sa board. Magsasalita lang siya pag mali yung sinulat mong answer. May mga prof kami na gano'n. May mga prof naman kami na todo spoon feed. Sige, turo ako. Pero pag nagpa-exam naman, monster. Diba? Yung tawag namin. So ano yun, para ma-overcome ko yung challenge na yun, na papasok ako na hindi ko alam, which is good for me also. Ang nangyari pala no, dati may mga klase ko, Tol, bakit ang galing-galing nyo naman? Sabi lang nila sa akin, Tol, huwag kang papasok na hindi ka nakaaral pag college. Nung high school, umuubra ako. I'm not sure. Papasok ako, binasa ko lang ng konti. Pag college pala, kailangan aral ka mabuti. Diba? Before ka pumasok. Pag binigay sa'yo yung topics, week before, or minsan at the start of the school year or the start of the semester, they will give you the topics. You have to know kung asa na kayo. You have to be responsible. Diba? So, isa yun sa kailangan na i-mindset nyo. You have to be responsible for yourself and for you to schedule your studies. Alam ko maraming distractions ngayon. Nakikita ko yan sa ibang mga estudyante lately. Okay? Maski ako, ilan lang ang lampas ko kay Ma'am Bless. Mga 1 decade lang. Hindi lang. So,
One lang ba?
One lang ba? No. So, pero yun yung nakita ko talaga. Pagdating mo ng college, you have to be responsible, okay? Challenge ko yun sa sarili ko. Ayokong pumasok na pag tinanong ako ng prof, magmumukha akong, sorry for the term, magmumukha akong tanga sa klase. Ayoko nun. Na ano ko siya, parang ayoko, nainggit ako sa mga kaklase ko na pag tinanong sila, ang galing-galing nila. So, yun pala yung sikreto. Tapos may mga tumulong sa akin, sabi nila, Tol, pag may assignment tayo, gawin mo sa bahay. Pagdating natin sa school, aralin natin, tignan natin kung tumama yung sagot mo o hindi. Okay, so isa pang tip, you have to find friends na hindi puro lakwatsa. Naglalakwatsa kami dati. Yung nga lang, gumagawa kami ng assignment sa bilyaran. Okay, sorry Pero, that's true Hindi, ano yan Habang naglalaro yung iba, gumagawa kami ng assignments namin. Diba? So, yun yung ginagawa namin. Now, pros and cons ng work namin. Unang-una, lagi lang na naman pumapasok sa amin. Late night works. Okay. So, ano ba yung tawag ko dito? Busy season. Bayaran ng income taxes. Kay Ma'am Bless po yata. Pa-mute lang po sa nag-speaker si Ma'am Bless. Ayan. So, yun yung hindi ko lang. Then, so, ang ginagawa namin dati, yun yung pinaka-challenge yun. Usually, pag nasa business ka, marami kang deadlines. Okay, so yung deadlines yun. Yun lang yung doon. You have to make sure that you work efficiently and smart. Okay? So, yun yung ginagawa namin. Yun yung challenge ng parati. Lagi kaming late night works. Check natin Wait lang, Plaza.
May technical lang.
Okay, check.
Hello.
Ayan. Hello?
Meron pa rin
Ayun lang, may narinig mo, Sir Flo, yan? Sorry. Ayan. How about now? Okay na siya? Sa side ko pala. Kaya lang hindi ko kayo madidinig. Wait lang.
Meron na naman. Kaya,
Sige.
Ayan. what happened was, yun na nga, sine-check namin yung ano. How about now? Okay na po ba? May echo pa siya, wala na.
Yes, sir.
Okay na,
Wala na.
sir.
Ayan. Okay. So, ang nangyari kasi, yun nga, pagka ang cons dun sa ano, yung cons muna yung sasabihin ko na ka. Yung cons dun sa work namin, yun nga, masyado kaming malaming late nights. Okay? Ngayon, ang mabigat dito, hindi naman mabigat talaga actually pag nasanay ka kasi. Late night works, okay, sunod-sunod yan, pero ang cons dito, ang maganda dito, once kasi, ang tip lang naman doon, kailangan pag-aralan mo kagad yung trabaho mo para bumilis ka. Now, ang cons dito, as you move up, 'di ba? As you move up in your career, pag nasa business ka, halos lahat 'yan ng business side matututunan mo. Okay? So, accounting, yung recording side, bibigay mo yung mga kailangan yung financial statements mo. Pagdating mo sa finance, maiintindihan mo ngayon kung bakit mo kailangan yung information. So, saan mo siya gagamitin? Okay. Pag nakuha mo na yung information kung saan mo siya gagamitin, then eto yung maganda. You now make decisions. You make decisions for everyone, for the company, which is pag sinabi na pagtitignan natin medyo malaking responsibility pero matitrain ka naman. Okay? Saka isang bigay kong lang tip, naalala ko yung lagi ko example sa mga pag may kausap sa akin. Yung father ko noon, hindi ako pwedeng magsasagot ng hindi ko po alam. Hindi ka pwedeng sasagot. Pag may pinagawa sa'yo, hindi ka pwedeng sasagot ng hindi ko po alam. Ito lang bibigay ko lang tip sa inyo. Pag merong pinapagawa sa inyo at hindi nyo alam, ang laging sagot dyan, sige po, aalamin ko. Okay, tatandaan na, sige po, aalamin ko. Okay? So para, it's an opportunity for you to learn. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Bless, everyone is a work in process. Diba? Unti-unti tayo natututo lahat tayo. Ayun. Yun lang yung magbibigay ko sa inyo. Yun yung cons dun sa aking trabaho ngayon. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much, Sir Ronald. Ito, Bob, uh, lalo na in the government sector, what are the challenges that you faced in uh, education and training that led leading
Mhm.
to your career in government? And what's the pros and cons for working for the public sector, sir?
Okay. Siguro magsimula muna ako, Sir Jai, sa history. Yung kanina yung sinabi po natin is from the educational and training up to the career, yung parang flow ng story natin. So, nung siguro, no, nasa age din tayo ng mga junior high ngayon, yun din medyo ang hirap din kasi i-relate, pero binabase ko na lang sa age, yung, I think that's the age of 16, di ba? Yung grade 10, junior high. So at that time, of course, you have to choose. Actually, ano pa lang parang incoming fourth year, yung magte-take kami ng mga entrance examination for different universities. So, syempre, with the influence of my family din, na karamihan sa mga kapatid ko ay from UP, and then my father is also in the public service then. So parang na-influence ako that my first choice of school is UP. And the course that I've been applying is engineering. So tiningnan ko sa lahat ng engineering, may ganitong story kasi nung kapanahunan namin na huwag kang kumuha ng quota course. Doon ka lang muna sa sa mga non-quota
Oh,
course para
yeah.
makapasok ka.
Strategy.
Pagpasok mo, shift ka kagad. May ganyang story noon. Ginawa ko yun. So, although matigas ulo ko, nag-apply pa rin ako ng BS Industrial Engineering sa UP. Nung nag-take din ako sa Ateneo, Management Engineering, and then sa UST, Industrial Engineering ulit. So, lumabas yung result ng UST, pinakaunang lumabas yun. Pumasa ako sa Industrial Engineering. And then waitlisted out sa dalawang in-applyan ko, which is BS Economics at saka, EB Economics pala, sorry. At saka Mechanical
Right.
Engineering. Tapos, yung Ateneo naman, malalaman mo kagad na hindi ka pumasa kasi ang letter sa'yo, one page lang, tapos sorry, you did not qualify. Ang in-applyan ko naman doon, Management Engineering, sabi sa akin, ba't mo in-applyan yun? Sobrang hirap nun. Sabi ko, di bale, masyado namang mahal yung school na yan. So, may naging ano sa akin na naging joke yun. And UP, hindi dumating yung result, but I assumed na sabi ko, mukhang di yata ako umubra doon. So, it's okay. Pinasok ko na yung UST. Although hindi siya yung first choice ko, pero eventually napamahal din ako sa school na kung saan ako nag-aaral. So okay, dito na sa engineering na. Dito kami nagkita ni Sir Jai.
Yes.
Naging magkaibigan kami. Kaya basta marami kaming pinagdaanan ni Sir Jai. Ayoko na lang siguro i-detail, ano? Pero
Oh my God.
teka, parang baliktad yan. Ayoko na lang i-detail, pero sa akin na lang na story yung ikukwento ko.
Share ng konti.
Every... Wag na po, ma'am. Hindi, sige, okay
Suffice
na po.
to say, ma'am,
Anyway,
medyo may
Censored ba, Sir Bogs?
Medyo delinquent
Hindi sa
kami ni
censored,
Bogs
eh.
nung ano.
hindi lang
Mga
medyo.
pasaway kami nung college.
Mga pasaway kami nung college. Ayan, sinabi
mga
na
nadidin
kay Sir Jay
focus
na
kami
release
nun.
mo nang galing. Oo. So, yan. Every semester, may mga nababagsak akong subjects. And then, I was questioning myself, tama ba tong course na pinasok ko? And then, there was a time na pinatawag na ako sa department head ng industrial engineering. Kasi, parang sabi sa akin, isang bagsak mo pa, tanggal ka na sa program. Sabi ko, okay, sige. And the good thing is, siguro, will na rin ng Panginoon na dito na pumapasok yung kaibiganin mo yung mga magagaling sa school. Alam nyo, wala namang masama doon yung kakaibiganin yung mga magagaling sa school. Kasi 'di ba parang tell me who your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Yung ganyan na saying. So, naging great influence din na napunta ako sa mga studios na mga friends. Although hindi sila yung mga nerd or well, tao pa rin tayo, madami tayong extracurricular activities. So, ayun, napasama ko sa kanila. But, I joined them for the right reason naman. For me, not only to survive, but also to persevere din sa course ko nung college. Yung kung bakit ako bumabagsak. And then, I found out na, kulang pa pala talaga yung effort na binibigay ko. Kasi itong mga kasama ko, yung groupmates ko nung college, mga dean's lister to. So, they sleep at 11, 12, they wake up at 4, and then aral, ganyan. So, okay. Marami siguro sino magsasabi na, Sir Bogs, di naman lahat ng inaral sa college, ma-apply ko naman sa work eh. Totoo yun, hindi talaga lahat. But, think about this. Discipline yan eh. Para bang sa, ilagay natin sa mga military school, lahat na ng papahirap, ginagawa sa kanila, binibigay sa kanila. Umabot pa sa point na there are physical punishments, ganyan. But, of course, in reality, hindi naman sila hahantong sa ganyan eh. Pero, syempre, it's for you to be prepared for the worst. And, yun nga, talagang wag lang sumuko. Yun lang naman ang naging mantra ko nung college. Sabi ko, I don't care if lumagpas ako ng 5 years. And yes, true enough, inabot ako ng 7 years sa engineering. Sobrang haba nun. And yun lang, papasalamat din ako sa parents ko because they did not give up then na, anak, lumipat ka kaya ng school or lumipat ka kaya ng course. Parang sa kanila, kung yan ang gusto mong gawin, ipag-igihan mo. Kaya doon ako natuto na nga, kailangan ko paghirapan. So yun, I finished college and I was able to magkonting yabang lang ako dito, Sir Jai. Yung first sem ng final year ko na nakapasok pa sa Dean's List. It's because of yun nga, hard work din and perseverance. Talagang inaano ko sa mga estudyante yan kasi may mga nagsasabi yung generation ngayon madaling sumuko, and I do not believe in that. I want to break that stigma din na konting lang susuko na. I don't think mga estudyante ngayon, especially this students from Lord's Angels Montessori uh, na madali sumuko. I think they know how to fight, they know how to give all their best para maging successful. So yun, okay. Shift naman tayo sa sa career. So studied industrial engineering, and then ang napasukan kong industry, since it's a property management, it's more of real estate. And kahit na 7 years ako nag-aral ng engineering, I still continued studying kasi learning is a continuing process. I think hanggang sa mamatay ka, you still learn. Um, so nag-take ako ng mga short courses. First is yung manager's course sa UP Diliman. And after that, nag-take ako ng brokerage exam, real estate brokerage, real estate appraiser. Kasi ang goal ko lang talaga noon, makakuha ko ng PRCID. Kasi parang for me at that time, big deal na magkaroon ka ng PRCID. So si real estate kasi, ano yan, tatlong up to 3 licenses ang pwede mo makuha dyan. So tatlong beses kayo mag-e-exam. Pero hindi naman required na i-take mo lahat. Kung ano lang yung gusto mo. So yun, nag-take ako ng broker and appraiser. Pinagsabay ko yun in just 1 year. And the same perseverance din ang pinagdaanan ko, at saka discipline din para pumasa sa mga exams din. And then 5 years after, I took real estate consultancy and environmental planning. So, sa tagal ko sa real estate, mga 9 years ako sa industry, I was thinking of doing something different. Pero I also, kasi gato yan kinuha ako nag-apply ako for a consultancy job for a project ng Department of Agriculture. And I was qualified because of I'm an environmental planner. Ang environmental planning is siguro mas kilala siya into urban planning. So usually ang mga nagiging environmental and urban planners, mga architects to. Pero hindi na ganun sa ngayon. It's a multi discipline na profession, but you always deal with the land, with the people, even with the government. So talagang malawak yung scope niya. For those students, you may want also to explore this career, yung pagiging urban planner or environmental planner. Okay din ang job opportunities dito. So it's not just you work for the government, but you can work for real estate firms. Malaki ang iyong opportunity. So anyway, going back dun sa project na ginawa ko dun sa Department of Agriculture, ang project namin is to capacitate yung mga indigenous people, yung excuse me, kumbaga sa atin parang yung mga tribes ganyan. Pero the more politically correct term is indigenous people. So we want to engage and empower them into agriculture industry and business. So yun, pero after 1 year, parang nakita ko, nag-open yung Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. Open sila ng trabaho dito. So sabi ko, sige, applyin ko na. Nung una, iniisip ko, trip-trip lang Pero when I was there, nung nag-exam na ako, parang doon ko na-realize na siguro try ko nga din tong public service. Kasi iba naman dito Kung doon sa kung doon sa business namin, syempre, iniisip mo talaga doon is, number one, paano kumita yung company. And also, syempre, kasama na rin doon yung giving the best quality of service. For us is to give yung mataas na land value for commercial spaces. So, parang gano'n. Pero ito, ang pinagkaiba talaga, ang focus mo is public service. And dito talaga, madaming challenges. So, jump na ako sa pros and cons. Siguro, unahin ko na yung cons, no? Pag nasa public service ka, sometimes yung position na inuupuan mo, you have the power. So, yun nga, gaya ng sinabi natin kanina, greater power comes great responsibilities. Hindi lang pala responsibilities, pati temptation din. So, alam niyo na kung ano yung sinasabi ko. But again, babalik naman yan sa integrity. Kung, for example, ako talaga pinag-pray ko na makapasok dito. So, parang iniisip ko na lang na sa lahat ba ng ginagawa ko, nag-glorify ko ba si God? So, yun yung lagi nating iisipin pag nasa public service tayo. Tapos, patience, talagang matetes ang patience mo dito because you are dealing with a very wide variety or iba't ibang walks of life yung mga clients. Pag sinabi kong clients, it's the public. May mga mayayaman, may mga mahihirap, may mga sobrang taas ang pinag-aralan, may mga no read, no write. But you have to treat them equally. You have to treat them with justice. So, may iba dyan talagang ikaw naman, ginagawa mo lang yung trabaho mo, but sometimes there are other people na pe-personalin ka na gusto mo ba mawalan ka ng trabaho, ganito, ganyan. So, yan, natetest talaga yung patience natin. We are not encouraged to fight back. In fact, kung kaya namin i-ignore, ginagawa po namin yan. And doon naman sa usually yung mga mahihirap natin na kababayan, sila madali silang pasunurin. Um, hindi
Mas,
matigas ang ulo. Although,
mas
of course, may mga
compliant sila.
times, yes, mataas yung compliance nila compared dun sa mga mayayaman, yung mga may pinag-aralan. Kasi sabihin nila, ay, lawyer ako eh. Dati akong nag-work din sa government at ang work ko is gato, ganyan. Dati akong, basta, sabihin nila yung mga matataas na position. So, yun, wag mong patulan, wag mong tapatan yung yabang nila. Hayaan mo sila. Basta, sa'yo, gawin mo na lang yung trabaho mo, what you are mandated to do. And huwag ka matakot kung nasa tama yung ginagawa mo because at the end of the day, kung kakasuhan ka naman nila, it's fine. You have your chance to defend yourself. At sabihin mo lang na, ito po kasi yung nakalagay sa batas, ginawa ko lang. Eh. So, yun, wala kang problema dyan. For the pros naman, to be honest, no, ang compensation sa government, noon, ang sinasabi nila, ba't ka dyan nagtrabaho? Mababa sweldo dyan, hindi kaya yaman dyan, hindi masaya dyan, gato ganyan. Pero iba-iba naman tayo ng perspective. Eh. In terms of compensation, those who want to take siguro yung mga engineering, accountancy, yung mga may PRC licenses, usually nasa salary grade 11 to 13 and they are well compensated naman. I think at par naman sa binibigay na sahod sa private sector. Maabot din naman ng mga between starting lang to, parang nasa 25 to 27,000. And if you work hard, you work your way up. Meron kasi dito sa government, ay isang maganda dito, yung career opportunity mo, you work hard, madaming mga training, seminars, madami pang opportunities for you to learn. So meron din dito pag nasa mga advanced stages ka na, you will take yung mga career executive service office na mga exam. And that will land you to high-paying jobs sa government as the director of the bureau or service or as undersecretary or assistant secretary. Medyo mataas po yung compensation nila. At least umaabot sila ng 6 digits yung compensation nila. So, yun.
Not
In
bad na
terms of
rin.
Yes po, Sir Jai. Okay naman magpasahod ang gobyerno as long as, of course, this is taxpayers' money. So we have to we have to give the right service din sa ating mga kababayan, because dapat kung gusto niyong pumasok sa public service, you join the government for the right reasons. And I think that ends my my
Okay.
story from the public servant's point of view.
Much, Sir Boggs. Last but not least for this question, Joshua, what challenges did you face in training, and what are the pros and cons of your industry?
Okay, so I think yung if I can be completely honest with our students for a second, um, I think the the challenges and like the pros and cons can be completely encapsulated with this, right? It's the idea, and I think we've heard this before, is if you find a job that you like, you'll never have to work a day in your life. Yeah, and
Agree.
the the that those are the pros. The cons are that is a lie, because if you find a job that you like, you will work
Conflicting, ah.
24/7. You will honestly, like, if you so what I said before, for my motivation was passion. This is what I wanted to do. And the the almost infuriating thing about that is, as I sort of got into school, so I got into College of St. Benilde. I went into Bachelor of Arts in Animation, and the reason I chose that is because I was like, MMA is too broad. Masyadong malawak yung multimedia arts para sa akin. So I was like, okay, focus tayo sa animation. And even then, dun ko nalaman na it's non-stop work from morning to evening. Just honing your craft, just sharpening your skills. Um, kasi uh, right from the get-go, so if we go back to the very start when I got into CSB, uh, ang nalaman ko kaagad was how competitive it felt. Not how it was, kasi I mean lahat yung mga kabatch ko naman at the time were very they're all amazing people, very talented, and with that comes pressure. Sometimes externally and sometimes, internally, pero minsan kasi nakikita mo yung mga kaklase mo, ang gaganda ng gawa nila. Ang talented nila mag-drawing, ang talented nito mag-animate, ito marunong mag-sound design. And tapos ikaw parang you're kind of floundering about trying to figure out what you want to do. And so there's this sort of competitiveness na parang dapat ikaw rin ma-achieve yung level nila right now, kundi mapag-iwanan ka. And that's sort of like the struggle that I've had to kind of deal with when I was getting my start in this in the creative space, as I was receiving my training. And mararamdaman mo yan sa sa classes nyo, especially like since animation and art in general is very very subjective. Yung mararamdaman mo yan pag nagpasa ka ng gawa mo sa prof mo, yung comment nila minsan harsh. And that's designed that way kasi kailangan mo talagang, as nasabi nga ni Ma'am Bless kanina, kailangan mo masanay diyan eh. Kasi pag dating mo sa career, yung mga client na binabayaran ka, mas harsh yung mga yun kasi ginagamit mo na yung pera nila eh. So, yung ganun talaga yung training talaga sa creative field, sa creative industry, is trial by fire. You're either good or you're going to get good. And there's really no in between. Kailangan ma-sharpen mo yung skill set mo. And that's unfortunately one of the harshest realities when I talk about with my friends, na talagang talagang skill based by nature yung ano natin yung profession namin eh. So you need to have the skills. And with that, as I was going through college, I had to figure out what I was really good at. If I was going to be a specialist, which is I'm good at this one thing, or if I'm going to be a generalist, which I'm kind of decent at a lot of things. And um, throughout my career, I kind of decided na okay, hindi ko kayang it takes a little bit of self-awareness kasi na-realize ko na hindi ko kaya makipagsabayan sa kanila. So, kailangan kong i-pace yung sarili ko in sharpening my craft. And so, I learned a bunch of stuff. So, natuto akong mag-Photoshop, natuto akong mag-After Effects, natuto akong mag-Premiere, natuto akong mag-sound design konti, tas natuto rin akong mag-animate. Nag-practice ako mag-drawing, nag-practice ako conceptualize, mag-brainstorm ng ideas. That's kind of part of the process, and I decided na okay, kung hin kung hindi ako magiging super galing sa isang bagay, kung hindi ako magfo-focus, I might as well be versatile. I might as well be na okay, kahit saan mo ko i-plug, magagamit niyo ako. So and that in itself is valuable, especially when you uh get into the industry na for example, Studio of Secret Six, hindi sobrang laki ng studio eh. Even though it's one of the bigger studios in the Philippines that's in the game development space, uh, may mga instances pa rin na, for example, ako, I started in animation, character animation for ads. And then every so often kukunin ako ng ibang team para mag-storyboard. Every so often kukunin ako ng ibang team para gumawa ng VFX, mag-video edit. And that's doon ko nakuha yung value ko as a professional kasi I can do many things, and if I'm being completely honest, low maintenance ako. Pwede mo kong ilagay sa kahit anong project and I'll find a way to be able to deliver. And isa yun sa mga challenges na encounter ko during my training was how exactly to develop that skill set. Kasi I think one of the most underrated skills na hindi natin napag-uusapan is the ability to learn on the fly. And I think yung generation natin, we have had like information at our fingertips with the internet, with everything, lahat ng
Smart
resources
devices.
natin. Ah, nasa atin na yan eh, na kailangan lang nating ma-access. And natuto ako ng maaga kung paano mag-Google, paano mag-YouTube, paano maghanap ng resources na kailangan ko para makapag-deliver ako dun sa kahit saan man yan, sa assignments, plates, kahit like for example nung college nagfi-freelance work din ako, and even now with my career, I still lagi ako nasa Google, lagi ako nasa YouTube kasi I'm looking for resources to help me with my work. I think in terms of the pros and cons, again, pros is you will be doing basically what you're passionate about. So kung ang passion mo man is drawing, mahilig ka sa anime, mahilig ka sa cartoons, or filmmaking, mahilig ka sa movies, music, or even like literature, theater,
Video games.
video games. For me, I mean, merong courses lahat yan sa school. In fact, CSB itself, napaka-wide ng range ng courses na ino-offer nila for creative arts. So meron I when I when I went into CSB, one of the pros is lahat ng course magkakasama. It's a melting pot of creative people. And marami akong friends na taga theater, taga music, taga film, taga MMA. Even yung mga athletic scholars namin kakilala ko. So um you will meet a wide variety of people that will in one way, shape, or form help you in your own career path. And uh, kahit anong course yung piliin nyo doon sa career path na yun, um, what what matters most is a your willingness to work on your skills. Yung sabi nga ni Sir Bogs kanina, yung perseverance. Um, your passion, sabi ni Ma'am Bless kanina, yung fearlessness nyo. And I get nakakatakot yun. Like, oh my God, anong pipiliin ko, right? Ang dami kong choices, pero at the same time parang wala akong choice. Uh, uh, it's important to know that that all you have to do is take the leap and be fearless. Go what you're passionate about. And for me, I think the my key advice for everybody is to be willing to be versatile. Kasi college will teach you that whatever you expect will definitely not happen. Like nothing is going to work out the way you plan it to
Yeah.
be. Like
Is
especially
that
right
not
now, you're
all?
young, like 16, 17 years old. In it's hard to see down the road like 5 years from now. Like I definitely didn't see like ako ang course ko AB animation pero napadpad ako sa visual effects. Um I went into I went into AB animation kasi hindi ako marunong mag-math. At if I'm being completely honest, hindi rin ako magaling sa sciences. So I was like, okay, sige, dito tayo sa drawing courses para hindi ko kailangan
More on
mag-deal with numbers.
arts.
Yeah, more on arts, creativeness, blah, blah, blah. And then come to find out, may algebra pa rin sa college. So, wala rin. And then napadpad ako sa VFX, which has programming and math. So, uh, it I you need to learn how to be versatile talaga when it comes to um going through
Sir
your
Josh,
learning. Yes?
hindi talaga nawawala yung mathematics eh, no?
Ay, oo, unavoidable. I would say like I had a conversation with friends. Share ko lang. Um, two things are certain in life: death and math. You can't avoid those two. You can't. It's and that unfortunately that is the reality. So you will have to deal with it at some point or another. Pero anyway, um, yeah. For me, I'm still going through the challenges. Uh, I'm still going through that sort of constant learning process where sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes you're way up, sometimes you're way down. And I guess I'll just close it off with this. Um, na-mention ni Sir Bogs kanina na he doesn't believe that the current generation is fragile. And that is very true. The the only what's true is na yung challenges na haharapin nyo pagdating nyo ng college and when you're trying to look for a job are evolving. They're constantly evolving. They're always changing. And that's why I'm asking you to be versatile. Kasi hindi mo alam kung ano yung challenges na haharapin mo. In fact, hindi rin namin with all the experience that this panel has, hindi rin namin masasabi sa inyo kung ano yung challenges na haharapin nyo. But you need to be ready. and you need to be willing to accept na, especially if you are planning to go into the creative industry, that it is constant work. It's you're always working on yourself, on your craft, and uh, that is the reality that you will have to deal with. But I can promise you na when you do come to terms with that, when you uh, when you figure out a workflow that works for you, a process that works for you, it is very rewarding, and you will feel very comfortable in the space that you're in. Um, and you will be comfortable with growing. So yeah, yun lang. Thank you po.
Thank you very much. Okay, some quotations to go by for all of us. Siguro last thing that I want our panels to share before we go to our question and answer. Um, Very quick lang, ma-highlight lang natin para dagdag guidance na rin sa mga students. Anong trainings and specializations ang available for career advancement in your various careers? Let's start with Bogs. Sir Bogs,
Sorry,
anong mga
med-
specializations and trainings ang available para sa career
so,
advancement
okay, for what? For
for your
working in
field?
the okay,
For your
for
field,
working in
environmental
okay.
planning or real estate, gano'n.
Yeah, meron na kasing ano eh. Well, dati pa naman na merong course on environmental planning that is being offered by UP Diliman. For the real estate naman, marami ng mga schools ngayon. I think si Sir Joshua is from the CSB. And I think meron ng ano dyan, real estate management. So
Ay,
medyo, yun pala,
talaga?
hindi ko, alam ko sir, meron sa
Ah.
CSB. I think kayo nga yung pinakauna na nagkaroon sa lahat ng schools. And hindi ko nga pala nakwento no, bakit from IE napunta ako ng real estate. Nasabi ko na. Dahil ang una ko namang napasok is real estate industry. Pero as an industrial engineering grad or as an industrial engineer kasi, kahit saang field ka or kahit saang industry ka pwedeng itapon because ano ba ginagawa ng IE, ng industrial engineer? We always look after the operations uh, of our organization. Yung father niyo yata, Sir Jai and Sir
Yes.
Joshua is an IE grad din. So,
Yes.
di ba,
Yes.
parang kahit saan mo ibato yan, kahit sa government pa yan, actually government needs more IE. Kasi yun din eh, we are trying to cut down yung mga red tapes. And how can we do that? Of course, we have to make our transactions seamless. So yun. Anyway, to answer your question, yun nga, real estate management and then urban planning, may School of Urban Planning dito sa UP. It's a good course for you to apply para maiba naman. And if you're fond of playing games, may mga simulation games din eh for urban planners. Meron tayong City Skylines, tapos yung pinaka old school na SimCity.
CP.
I I don't know if familiar si Sir Joshua dito because he's into games eh. Pero ang daming naglalaro nun, mga urban planner talaga. Yun talaga yung
Mm-mm.
profession nila. So they're making it as a parang training field nila yung mga computer games. And pag nandito ka naman na sa public service, ang dami-dami pang opportunities for mag-apply ka for master's degree, for PhD. We also have yung National Defense College, and dami. So pag nasa government ka, madami ka talagang options. It's just that alamin mo kung ano yung gusto mo, ano yung gusto mo marating, and of course keep in mind that you are as you progress, as you are promoted sa rank mo, tumataas yung responsibility mo, dumadami din yung tao na pinagsisilbihan mo. So, yun po.
Thank you, Sir Bogs. Sir Ronald, in your field, anong trainings and specializations ang available for career advancement?
Yan. So for business naman kasi na ako personally kasi ang nakuha ko is yung I passed the licensure exams for for accountancy. Yung I am a CPA since year. So, I'm a CPA, pero after doon, so halimbawa, if you're planning to take up, marami rin kasi, katulad ng industrial engineering na, uh, madaming pwedeng puntahan ang isang accounting student. Okay? So, well, business in general, a business student in general, maraming pwedeng puntahan. Okay? And then there are various certifications. So, you can be a, sa amin, specific sa mga accountants, saka sa mga financial managers would be your certified management accountant. Okay? uh, Certified information systems auditor, okay, or analyst. You have your financial analyst. Okay, yun yung mga sinasabi ko na is mostly your international certifications, okay? And then international certifications kasi under sa Philippine laws kasi ang only professional license available for CPA ay for accountants is yung certified public accountant. So yun lang yung board exams na meron tayo. Now, the rest na nabanggit ko earlier, that is international certification. Now, sir, bakit international certifications yung binabanggit mo? Well, currently kasi, we are on the verge, we are currently being global talaga, di ba? So, globalization. Nag-start na rin, inaayos ko na yung ASEAN CPA, 'di ba? Na because so you can practice with Association of Southeast Asian Nations for to be as CPA, 'di ba? Kasi halos isa lang din globally, halos isa lang yung the way we do business. Okay? The way we make the reports. So isa lang yung ano natin. So different certifications if you want if you go into business, so you have your ang pinaka favorite ko dito is yung certified financial analyst. Okay? Ang dami kasing pwedeng puntahan, and then you will really be able to help on your own business, have a business providing financial consulting, okay, or management consulting, business consulting in general, which is a very lucrative industry. Okay? So lahat 'yan sinasabi ni Ma'am Bless, ni na Sir Josh, 'di ba? Everyone needs a business person para matignan yung financial aspect naman nung pinupuntahan natin. Even if you're in the government, merong mga government accountants na kasama. Merong mga auditors under ng COA, 'di ba? So everyone do their work, you do your specialization, we provide you with the reports that you need. Okay, tapos andun yung gagawin natin. Okay, tapos isa pa pala, I think it's very important for people to have at least on for I'm not sure kung sa sa industry, I think may mga naghahanap na rin yung masteral. Okay, yung master's degree natin. So, yun yung isa rin na pwede nyo puntahan. Lalo na if you plan to go to the academe. Okay, so isa lang ang tip ko na maganda you gain lots of experience before you go into teaching. Especially if you're doing specialization. Okay, personally nakita ko yung difference nung 20 plus years of experience teaching students compared to those na diretso academe. I'm not really this is with specialization na. Katulad nung sa atin sa LAMS, 'di ba? You can be assured na bawa, if you want to go to the if you want to take the EBM stand, nandiyan kami ni Ma'am Bless. Okay? So training kung paano talaga siya. Hindi yung by the book. Well, syempre, andun yung libro to guide us, pero training kung paano natin siya gamitin. Okay? Sige. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Jai.
Thank you, Sir Ronald. Joshua, in your industry, what are some of the specializations and trainings available for career advancement?
Well, in terms of training, you can always go to art school. Though that is a very expensive endeavor. And like I said earlier, the information is at your fingertips. So for me, kasi I'm a very self-taught artist. And I learned a lot of these things kasi YouTube is available, and a bunch of resources like ArtStation is also offering like workshops and tutorials for a fee. So a lot of the learning resources na kailangan for the creative field especially in my field, which is animation and visual effects, nasa internet na yan. So kaya ma-access nyo na yan. All you need to do is look for tutorials on YouTube, pretty much. And ano yun na yan. Ang I think kasi the creative industry is one of the few industries na yung diploma mo isn't really worth as much as your portfolio, kasi yung it's an industry where your bosses don't really care where you studied, as long as okay makita
You
nila
can
yung
deliver. You
yes,
can deliver
exactly.
the job.
Exactly. So yung portfolio mo, yung collection of works, if you're in video, that's your demo reel. If you're in theater, that's your I guess your casting calls. And then uh you're all set. You'll be able to ano, to get a career in the creative field.
Okay, thank you very much, Joshua. Ma'am Bless, last but not least, marketing. Ano
All
yung
right.
mga trainings and specializations available?
Yes, there are a lot actually, but more than the basic, I guess if you're in the customer service field or marketing service, marketing communications, you have to develop your skills. Okay. Number one is your problem solving skills. Kasi unang-una, when you're faced with your client, kailangan alam mo kung ano yung ginagawa mo. Alam mo kung ano yung produkto mo. And you can sell your campaign, your storyboard per se. Because if you cannot defend that, eh wala na, bumalik ka na sa ahensya. Okay, another thing that you have to develop is your patience. All right? In the marketing, advertising, that being very dynamic industry, hindi pwede ang balat sibuyas. Okay? Pag binaril ng kliyente mo, yung storyboard mo, hindi pwedeng uuwi ka, babalik ka sa ahensya at magrereklamo ka, sasabihin mo sa creative director mo, eh hindi inapprove eh. No. That's not how the cookie crumbles in advertising. Okay? Being the interface with client and agency, you have to know your stuff. Okay? That is why product knowledge is very important in your craft. Another thing is attentiveness. Okay? Importante na kapag merong sinabi sa'yo yung kliyente mo, and when you go back to the drawing board, you should be able to explain to your creative people what the requirements of your clients are. Otherwise, pabalik-balik lang kayo. Okay? And then another thing that you have to develop is your emotional intelligence. Sabi ko nga kanina, hindi pwedeng balat sibuyas sa ahensya. Hindi pwedeng balat sibuyas sa marketing. Kailangan head-on i-face mo ang iyong mga kliyente kasi dapat ang aura mo mas magaling ka sa kanila. Alright? A lot of times na natatameme tayo kahit mga estudyante lang kayo. You have to prove your point. Okay? Hindi naman kailangan disrespecting them, but you have to assert yourself. Okay? You have to be articulate enough so that yung business nila alam mo how you are going to make them the market leader. At the end of it all, ang gusto lang naman ng kliyente, gusto ko maging market leader kami. Pero kung hindi mo naman pala kayang gumawa nun, eh hindi ka pwede sa marketing communications. Okay, you have to communicate. Another skill also is you have to have clear communication skills. Again, may mga kliyente na haharapin mo mga multinational, mga AFAM, alright? Eh kung hanggang Tagalog lang ang kaya mong vernacular, eh wala na. Paano na? Paano mo i-defend yung iyong storyboard? Paano mo i-defend yung creative brief? Doon pa lang kung hindi ka na agreeable doon sa creative brief, at pagbalik mo sa ahensya, hindi mo ma-explain na okay lang ko ng big idea dito. That is why it's very important that you have to be very clear in terms of communicating what your client's needs are and what your agency's position is. Okay? Another one, your writing skills. Hindi pwedeng iasa mo na lang sa copywriter mo. Okay? Pag sinabi ng copywriter mo, ayan na yun, bless. I-deliver mo, i-present mo sa kliyente mo, ipa-approve mo. No, 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 no. Okay? Dapat um, merong inspiration behind. Ano yung, ano ba yung pinanggalingan ng iyong big idea? Bakit ka nakarating dito sa copy na to? A lot of times, if you're familiar with all the ownable statements in advertising, doon nagsisimula yun. Hindi lang gawa yun ng, believe me guys, hindi lang gawa yun ng copywriter. Okay? A lot of this comes from market research, backyard research, yung focus group discussions. Kung familiar kayo
Ala,
dun sa
na,
Alaska, Alaska commercial, yung walang tatalo sa Alaska, ownable statement yun. Coming from a focus group discussion. Isang consumer ang nagsalita nun. Walang tatalo. Eh, wala palang tatalo. Eh, number one. How can you beat that statement? You know what I mean, guys? All right. Another is, like what Joshua said, you have to be creative, you have to be resourceful, you have to constantly reinvent yourself. Hindi pwedeng complacent ka. Hindi pwedeng nabigyan ka ng award ngayon, tapos ka na. You are as good as your last project, guys. Otherwise, pagbalik mo sa drawing board, ala na, yung dati mong ginawa na number one ka o voted as creative excellent ka, wala na yun. Bukas, para mga actors, yung best actor trophy mo, it's as good as your last project. Because the next project that you're going to have, ipapakita mo na naman yung galing mo. Alright? And then, persuasion skills. Napakadaling sabihin yung persuasion, pero pag nandiyan ka na at kaharap mo na yung makulit mong kliyente, Diyos ko po, kung pwede lang, pumatay ka ng tao. Alright? Pero hindi mo magagawa yun. Bread and butter account mo yun eh. Pero kahit galit na galit ka na, you still have to be diplomatic. You still have to have that persuasion skills so that at the end of the day, ipapanalo mo yung storyboard mo. Okay? Lastly, yung ability to use positive language. Again, when you face your clients, all right, always remember na kailangan, kung may pinagdadaanan ka, hindi pwedeng ipakita mo, hindi pwedeng obvious ka. All right? Nakikipag-deal ka sa kliyente mo, eh may kinakaharap ka pala na life-changing situation. Naghiwalay pala kayo ng asawa mo. Hindi pwedeng iiyak ka sa harap ng kliyente. Ay, grabe, naghiwalay ka. Pwede. Hindi ka nare-respetuhin ng ahensya. Hindi ka nare-respetuhin ng kliyente mo. Eh, iyakin pala yan eh. 'Di ba? Alright. Another thing is, okay, yun nga, yung sinabi ko kanina, product knowledge. You have to walk the talk. Kung hindi mo alam yung position mo or role mo sa industriya, eh bumalik ka sa bahay, humarap ka sa salamin at tanong mo sa sarili mo, ano ba ang gusto mo, Bless, na marating? Ano ba ang gusto mong ipakita? 'Di ba? Kasi kung hindi klaro sa isip mo yung role mo sa ahensya, yun, mag-isip-isip ka na. Baka kailangan mo ng change of career. Alright? And of course, yung passion at yung advokasya mo. Alright? If your advocacy is, pwede naman palang walang bayad. Or pwedeng, di ba? Pwede naman palang minimal lang. Okay na yan for the sake of friendship. Guys, may nangyayaring ganyan. Kaya nga advokasya. Pwedeng libre na lang. Ano yung gratis et amore? Tama ba yun, Sir Ronald? Tama ba yung term, Sir
yeah.
Jai? Yon. Now, if you're in that age na hungry ka pa for power, hungry ka for prestige, hungry ka for all the accolades, ay nako, I tell you, mga anak, aaralin nyo lahat. It takes years and years and years of experience and hard work. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Bless. Again, thank you to all our speakers for sharing. We tried when we were organizing this career orientation, we tried to get speakers from various fields as much as possible so that we can get different aspects kung ano bang mga kailangan. And fortunately for us, in here at Lord's Angels Montessori School, we were able to do so. And aside from that, yung mga shinare po ng ating mga speakers, actually, ito rin ay isa sa mga advocacy, as Ma'am Bless mentioned. This is one of the goals of Lord's Angels Montessori School Incorporated, which is why we have our own senior high school program, which promotes and builds the base that our students will need para sa kanilang preparation for college and for career. So dito sa LAMS, we have the strands that will help you get through the various trainings that you need for college. Yung mga gusto mag-follow sa footsteps ni Sir Ronald, that's related more to finance and business. We have ABM. Yung sumunod kay Sir Boggs, that's more on the engineering aspect and architecture. Mas related doon. We have STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Yung mga more on public service or yung mga more on uh, interaction with people, social interrelations like Ma'am Bless. We have humanities and social sciences. And yung mga into computer animation, yung mga gustong mag-pursue ng career in technology, we have like Sir Joshua here, we have TVL ICT for majoring in animation and majoring in CSS. Apart from that, hindi na kasi tayo na ako, naghanap sana ako ng panelist noon for HE. We also offer home economics that will give you training in food and beverage services, cookery, and housekeeping. Kasi again, sa LAMS, gusto natin yung ay maganda in preparation for whatever you will pursue. And for almost 30 years pala, rather, for almost 30 years, Lord's Angels Montessori School Incorporated has endeavored to provide quality education to its students from the pre-elementary department now all the way up to the senior high school department. I believe we have a video here that will further extol these values. Sir Flo, take it away. Konting ano lang. Again, limitations of technology. Ito yung nakakamiss sa ano, no? Nung face-to-face tayo, ang bilis mag-present, ang dali kasi hindi tayo napipigilan ng internet. While that's buffering, medyo nag-overtime tayo pero kasi checking on our guidance and our homeroom guidance program coordinator, meron mga questions po ang ating students. We'll share later. We'll just play the video. Thank you very much, Sir Flo. Now, again, guys, yung pong, lalo na kayo ng LAMS, you know the quality training and education that you receive from our school. This continues on, moving forward to the senior high school department. So, we encourage everyone to join us and continue the Montessori type education that you've gotten up to junior high, continue it into the senior high school department. We promise na yung level ng training na makukuha nyo, pagdating nyo ng college, marami sa may encounter nyo doon, peanuts, pagtatawanan nyo na lang sila. Kasi, kayang-kaya nyo na siya dahil nakuha nyo na yun. At this time, we will move to our open forum for part of our career orientation. Our students have prepared some questions through the HGP program. Ayan, through our 40 random doors. Ano po natin gagawin dito? Meron po akong, pipili po tayo ng speaker and then the speaker will choose and kung anong question yung lumabas, yun yung sagutin ng ating guest. Okay? So let's start. Age before beauty. Ma'am Bless.
Ibang klase ka kay Sir Jai.
Alam mo,
Age
love na love
before
kita.
beauty. Ako rin yung beauty before age, di ba?
Kaya
Sige.
nga,
So
either way.
double tap ba?
Pick a door, any door. Pili ka na lang,
Oh,
Ma'am Bless, ng door. Anong feel mo
well,
dyan?
number 12, syempre birthday ko yan eh.
Let's go to door number 12. Our student would like to know, Ma'am Bless, what will be the first and biggest challenge that they will be encountering when they enter senior high school?
Well, I think the very first challenge that they will face when they enter senior high school ay kung anong strand ba sila pupunta. Alright? They have to, well, ask themselves, what strand do you belong? Do you rightfully belong? Kasi hindi pwede dito yung just because gusto ng barkada mo, join ka rin. Hindi pwedeng join the bandwagon. No, that's not how it works, okay? You have to know your calling. Listen to your voice. How do you see yourself? Gusto mo bang maging teacher? Then you can go into kung magaling ka sa science, pumunta ka sa STEM. Kung magaling ka into public speaking and probably you want to be a lawyer someday, then go into UMS. Diba? Now, if you're very good in accountancy, nagbabalance ka, credit, debit, go into ABM. Now, if you're very good like Sir Joshua in technology, you're very creative, then go into ICT. Hindi porke technical vocational livelihood program siya, vocational course yon. Mga anak, napakatindi ng course ng ICT. Alright? Ang daming mga learnings na babaunin nyo hanggang sa kayo ay mag-specialize na pagdating nyo ng college. So I guess that is the first and the biggest challenge is to know what strand, alright? What academic track ba or TVL track they are going to pursue.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Bless. Let's go to our next speaker naman from the opposite end of the room. Joshua, could you pick a door, please?
Sure. 23.
Okay. Banker, pag-chos.
Deal or no deal?
Yan. What can you say about switching between careers?
Switching careers. Well, you can definitely do it. That's the pwedeng pwede yan no matter how late you are into your career. In fact, I myself recently nag-switch ako ng careers from animation napunta ako sa graphic design, tapos napunta ako sa nabalik ako actually sa animation, tapos napunta ako sa video editing. And now where I hopefully will stay nasa visual effects na ako for games. So you can definitely switch between careers. Wag kayong matakot to do that. And certainly there will come a time na marirealize nyo na okay, maybe this career isn't for me. And when that time comes, that's okay. You just kind of accept that. In fact, you embrace it, and then you go after the career that you actually want to pursue.
Okay, thank you. Sir Ronald, pick a door, please.
Number 18 yung sa akin.
Number 18. Question
Ay,
from our
hindi dapat ka
student.
sa 38 ha.
I heard na may mga universities daw na parang biased sa mga graduate ng STEM. Kumbaga, yung entrance exam, mostly ang tanong ay STEM na ituro. Is this true? Yes. Tama-tama kay Sir Ronald. He works at the Consolacion University, so maybe he can... If yes, possible po ba na maging barrier yon sa pagpili ng strand?
Actually kasi based dun sa sa nakita ko, most of the entrance exams are standardized. Okay? Pagdating sa college, most of the exams are standardized. Now, bakit feeling nila STEM yung questions? Usually kasi it's science and mathematics. Okay? Tapos English and then yung ano yung tawag natin doon, yung may mga drawings, I forgot, yung mataas na grades.
Spatial recognition.
Abstract
yung
reasoning.
abstract
yeah.
reasoning, yes. Usually, ang nangyayari kasi doon, standardized usually yung mga yung mga binibigay na questions, okay? Kasi ang science ayun, yung sciences, yung arithmetic, yung mathematics, 'di ba? Standard 'yan kasi for everyone, 'di ba? Nabanggit nga ni Sir Josh kanina na, na mathematics is everywhere. Kahit saan natin, anong gawin natin, yung simpleng pagbilang mo lang ng oras, it's already mathematics, di ba? So, yun yung kaya siguro na nakikita nila na pang STEM yung questions kasi most of the time it's sciences and mathematics kasi yun yung nandoon natin, and then languages, okay, if I'm not mistaken, nandun siya parate. Now, I've heard from our students dati, from our previous students that took the exams from Bulacan State University. There were some questions, very small questions lang, that relates, halimbawa, for ABM, if you want to take up ABM, if you want to take up business course in college, there are only a few questions that were asked that's related to ABM. So, I don't think that would really matter kung nandun kayo. Now, ang isang tip na mabibigay ko sa inyo kasi, laging sinasabi for everyday na kinakailangan natin, even if you're studying, even if you're in your career, you always have to be prepared. Okay? I think there are already available practice exams online for entrance exams, 'di ba? May mga available 'yan. Sabi nga ni Sir Josh, I still do that eh. Marami akong natutunan when we started online classes. Okay? Kasi meron na akong YouTube eh, which is wala ako before nung nag-aaral ako. Okay, I have to depend on books. Okay, basahin mo pag may picture diyan, 'di ba? I learned programming, ay small programming lang na small programming language. I learned that by using a book. Okay, may mga images lang ako na nakikita tapos pina-practice mo. Okay, so yun lang ang makikita ko doon. Standardized ng exams, so you just have to be prepared kung ano yung meron. Okay? Now, isa pang tip dito, kung saan nyo talaga gusto pumunta before going into senior high school, ano bang strand yung mas napupusuan nyo? Okay? So, yun nga sabi ni Ma'am Bless earlier, everyone has his own specialization. Meron kanya-kanyang specialization, yung mga strands. Okay? Now, para mas align ka and it's easier for you to manage kung ano man yung pupuntahan mong strand, 'di ba? Ano siya? Dapat talaga pinapasok mo yung nilalagay mo doon yung kung gusto mo mag-business, ano ka sa EDM strand? Pag gusto mo mag-sciences and engineering, doon ka sa STEM. Okay, now, TVL, that is a very specialized course. Okay? Marami nagsasabi kasi it's a vocational course. That's not the case. Maraming specialization and madami tayong matututunan kapag nag-aral tayo sa STEM. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. Si 9B.
Thank you very much, Ronald. Add ko lang doon siguro doon. Um, yung pong lumalabas sa entrance exams na mga items ng science and math, tinuturo siya generally sa, so kasi may gen math kayo na subject sa senior high, tsaka earth and life science. Yung mga tanong nila ng science and math ay hindi strictly STEM related. Mapag-aaralan nyo siya sa senior high. So hindi siya maging masyadong problem. Sir Bogs, Picador.
Number 7.
Nung nag-aaral ka daw ba, nagkaroon ka ba ng doubts?
Yes, of
Gusto ko
course.
yung tawa ni Tito.
Parang naikwento ko nga yun kanina, no? Nung
7 years na dito.
7 years sa engineering. Parang, siguro isipin mo, konti na lang, magna ka na. Hindi magna cum laude, magna 9 years or magta 10 years. Suma pala, suma 10 taon.
Suma 10 taon.
Oo. Darating talaga yan. Hindi ko ini-encourage na magpapagsak kayo. Hindi ganun. Okay. Ganito kasi yan eh. Pag nasa college ka, it's about perseverance and discipline. Those are the two main things na medyo nakaligtaan ko nung ako'y nag-aaral ng college because I was distracted of many things. So, nawala ako sa focus and yun nga, parang naisip ko rin noon na okay, mag-shift ako ng course, lipat ako ng school, ah, what anong kaibahan nun? Parang ano ba sinasabi? Pag lumipat ba ako ng ibang course or lipat ako ng ibang school, eh, gagraduate ka agad ako? Hindi. Actually, mahirap yun kasi you have to uh, start from scratch ka ulit eh. Lalo na pag nag-shift ka ng course. Kaya nga maganda na nga ngayon na meron kayong senior high, yung grades 11 to 12. There's still 2 years for you to work on your specialization. Kami noon walang ganyan. So talagang sabak ka agad
Sabak
sa
agad.
giyera. Pero I have sabak agad. Wala but I have no regrets na pumasok ako sa course na yun. Parang iba kasi sinasabi, di sana nag 4-year course ka lang. Tapos tingnan mo, wala ka pa dun sa mga malalaking manufacturing companies na yun naman talaga ang nagiging target ng mga industrial engineering graduates. Pero for me, it doesn't matter. Kasi pinili ko naman tong industry, pinili ko na rin itong public service. And for me, mas titingnan ko kung nasa-serve ko ba yung purpose ko. So, doubts about the course that you will take, it's up to you talaga. Siguro, gaya ng sinabi ni Sir Ron and ni Sir Joshua na sa generation nyo ngayon, ang dami yung sources of information. Nandyan ang YouTube, nandyan ang dati. Well, bawal talaga sa research, pero for reading purposes, you can still use your Wikipedia, you can still use your Google. Ang dami dyan eh. Kaya mo kung saan ka mag-fit, kung saan magsiserve yung purpose mo, and if that purpose at saka yung passion mo, magkasama sila, then I think that is the course for you. Madami namang opportunities eh. So, it's really up to you, students, to decide kung anong gusto mo. Pero, isa pa palang i-consider natin, no? Kasi, lalo na yung siguro yung mga parents na medyo maliit lang yung kinikita. So, if you really want that course, pag-igihan mo and apply for a scholarship program. Madaming scholarship ngayon ang I think the government has expanded its scholarship
Yes.
programs, especially to doon sa mga gusto mag-aral ng med, ng gusto maging doktor. So we are very blessed na may mga ganitong opportunities na. So yun lang po. I hope I also answered the question.
Thank you, Sir Bogs. Let's have one more round siguro since we have a lot of questions here and we want to respond as much as possible. Joshua, let's go to you again. Could you choose another door, please?
Sure. Number 30, please.
Number 30.
Cha-cha-ra-nyam.
Yung current path mo daw, what made you choose that?
This
Uh,
this
siguro
path. Hmm.
summarize it in a sentence. Ano talaga push sa'yo sa path na yan?
Burnout. Uh, well, in a word, yeah, burnout. Essentially, I was tired because of what I was doing prior, and I wanted to do something new, something fresh. And then I discovered visual effects. I have a mentor at work who introduced me to it, and now I'm here. So, and I'm honestly happier for switching careers. So, yeah, it all worked out.
Siguro to add to that, a lot of our students have this misconception that you have to to a particular career,
Mm-mm.
but the reality is you can actually explore options
Yeah.
once you're in the field. You can check out if it's not working for you ng ganito, you can always go somewhere and work somewhere else and find
Yes.
what you really like to do.
Yes, that is correct.
I like that burnout talaga in one word.
Uh,
Choose another door. Ma'am Bless.
Okay. Um, 22, 22.
What factors do you consider or did you consider before deciding on a career path? What are siguro Ma'am Bless, key points? What are some of the key points lang that
All right.
help you prepare your career path?
Okay, when I was younger, okay, talagang kailangan specify ko. When I was starting out, syempre ang first priority ko, will this put food on the table? Okay? Ito bang career na 'to, bibigyan ako ng tamang remuneration package? Otherwise, bakit nagfi-feedback? Otherwise, kung hindi naman, parang i-reconsider mo. Is it on my naririnig ko yung feedback ko. Okay, another factor is ayun na naman, naririnig ko. Another factor is, will I be happy in this career? Okay? Kasi, imposible na sasabihin mong, at the end of the day, happy ako kasi malaki naman ang sweldo ko. No. Hindi, through the years, sasabihin mo sa sarili mo na hindi lang pala pera ang magpapasaya sa tao. Kung hindi yung kung ano talaga yung laman ng puso mo. Makakatulong ba sa'yo? Will this career touch lives of the people that I encounter? Okay? Will I make a difference in their career or in their lives? Yung kliyente ko ba, pag sinabi ba sa akin na happy ako, bless sa ginawa mo, yun ba yung ultimate goal mo? That is why you have to examine yourself. Yun ba yung magpapasayo? Kasi kaya nga pwede kong follow up answer dun sa kay I don't know if it was Joshua or Sir Boggs na can you uh, swift or shift careers in between careers? Why not? Okay? Hindi naman porke nasa advertising ka, forever ka na hanggang sa mamatay ka. Sa create, I mean, sa advertising industry pa naman, dog eat dog world. Okay? Kung balat sibuyas ka, baka ngayon, wala, may sakit sa puso na ako. Okay? Sa dami kong inaway na kliyente ko, sa dami kong inaway na creative people, yon. But then, when I shifted my career to being a teacher, I guess dun papasok yung pay it forward. Advocacy na lang. Hindi na pera ang pinag-uusapan. Magpapasaya sa akin ito. Kahit na binibwisit ako ng ibang mga students, okay? Magpakatotoo tayo. Sa being an educator, hindi ganun kadali yon. A lot of our students think na, paturo-turo ka lang dyan, napakadali ng ginagawa mo, gagawa ka lang ng module. No, napakahirap po. Yung dedikasyon po namin, yung service, beyond, what is being asked of you, nandoon yun. You're being proactive, nandoon yung pagiging compassionate mo kahit hindi deserving itong estudyante na to. Minsan marinig mo lang yung sad story niya, maiiba na. Hindi ba? Mashi-shift na yung paradigm mo na, okay, you have to give chance to this person kasi meron siyang pinagdadaanan. At yun, doon papasok yung role natin ng mga teachers na, okay, you have to touch the lives of your students. Yun na ngayon ang aking pursuit. In the pursuit of happiness, sabi nga nila. Thank you. I hope I answered your question, Tendy.
Thank you, Ma'am Bless. Sir Boggs, could you pick a number, please?
Number, paano ba buminggo dito? Sige. Number 24.
Ending yata to, Ed. 24.
Feel like I need help because my mind keeps saying I don't want a course. I only need it.
Any advice? Yung sa mga nagkakaroon na kailangan ko lang tong gawin, hindi siya yung gusto kong gawin. Advise.
Mm,
I think
mhm.
maybe let's have our panel share this particular question for the different fields. Let's start
Okay.
with dogs.
I don't want a course. I only need it. Ah, medyo mahirap yung tanong pero sige. I'll try. I don't want a course, I only need it. Baka naman kasi yung gusto niya na gusto niya na maging career is wala doon sa ilang ano nga ba yun? Tatlo, yung STEM, yung ABM.
Limang
Lim,
strand like sa amin dito
limang
sa amin
strand.
lima.
Okay. Oh, limang strand. I don't know kung gaano yun kadami kasi pasensya na po, hindi ho natin inabutan yan at ako inoobserbahan ko lang yung mga pamangkin ko na nag-undergo ng ganito. Ah, siguro ano ko lang no, speculation ko lang na baka yun nga wala dun sa mga strands ang gusto niya. Um alam niyo, hindi kasi parang ang hirap kasi na wala kang papasuking college course or even vocational course. Imposible naman na siguro wala ka okay, kung wala kang may nagusto doon, baka nandun ka sa let's say ano ba, visual arts meron eh. Acting siguro or athletic ka, yung mga ganyang klaseng careers. Why not? I think meron pa rin eh. May human kinetics naman. Siguro baka gusto lang ng estudyante to evade yung traditional course or yung traditional learning na tinuturo sa college. Ito lang masasabi ko may mga schools and universities that do offer courses. They follow the yung recommendation ng CHED na ito yung mga
Yes, Lord.
subjects na i-offer mo sa mga syllabus nila, ganyan. And there is this school that they are not really into that. Kasi ang approach naman nila, kung merong, for example, merong industry, let's say the BPO industry, sila, they designed the program together with the industry. So, they go to the BPO. Sabi nila, okay, BPO, ano pong kailangan matutunan ng estudyante for them to have a career landing sa BPO. Sabi naman ni BPO, kailangan nila matutunan ganito, ganyan, ganito, ganyan. Tapos, may proposal si school. Ito po yung syllabus. Ano pong dadagdag, anong tatanggalin? Anong sa tingin niyo yung kailan pang i-enhance? So titingnan din ni BPO. Ito kailangan mo to, ito hindi na, ito idagdag mo. Okay. So nagkaroon sila ngayon ng collaboration to work on the program. And then, sinimulan ng school yung program. Years after, yung mga students nasa graduating year na. So, ang ginawa ng school, BPO, baka naman, pwede natin ipasok itong mga estudyante sa iyo as magpa-practicum sila or mag-OJT sila. Sabi ni BPO, why not? Tayo naman nag-design nito eh. So sige, gawin natin. So pinasok nila, and yan, in-evaluate, okay naman. And then here comes graduation. Nung graduation na, sabi ng school kay BPO, pinunta niya ulit. BPO, di ba tayo nag-design ng program? Di ba nag-practicum naman yung mga estudyante ko sa'yo? Okay naman sila. So, bigyan mo ako ng reason kung bakit hindi sila ma-hire. No choice si BPO. Kinuha niya. Because they were integrated sa industry. So siguro, if you have doubt sa course, ang gusto ko lang sabihin dito, look at the industry na gusto mong pasukan. Whether it is a regular industry, kagaya ng advertising agency, accounting firm, animation firm, or even siguro baka gusto mo lang talaga mag-artista, gusto mong maging athlete. Actually, meron pa rin talaga kayong school na papasukan. So if you're afraid of the course, pwede kang mag-research muna kung ano yung sa tingin mo, yung industry na papapasukan mo. I'm not sure kung I don't know kung ano yung gusto ng nagtanong eh. So, yun lang. You can jump dun sa industry muna and then saka mo piliin yung course na gusto mo.
Thank you, Sir Bogs. I think yung shinare ni Sir Bogs applies to every one of us. So let's move ahead with ano. Sir Ronald, choose a door, please. Last one tayo, and then we'll continue with our program. Last question tayo siguro. Sir Ronald, naka-mute kaya ta,
Sir,
sir.
yung number 40 po, yung pinaka-last door.
Last door. Number 40. Okay. As far as you
Ayan,
know, sir, yeah, how many
ayan, sir,
students
ano to?
are there?
Ay, sorry, sir. Yes, sir.
Sige, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, ito, as far as I know, since may experience ako sa college, teaching in college, di ba? It's not only STEM or yung strands, di ba? Depende kasi yan kung anong course yung pupuntahan mo sa college. Okay? So, katulad kami sa accountancy, when I was studying, okay, 4 years ang required, may isang summer. Okay? Tapos ngayon, they went back to 5 years. Okay? Kasi mas madami na kailangang aralin. Now, if you go to STEM, if you're taking up STEM, ang pupuntahan mo talaga would probably in science and technology. Okay? So, pwede rin to sa IT related. Okay? So, yun yung nag-e-echo na naman. Wait lang, tingnan ko lang. How about now?
Nag-echo pa rin, sir, ng konti.
Ayan, sir. May echo pa din.
Wala na. Okay, sir.
Ayan. Ayan. So, yun nga. It depends kasi dun sa course. Now, you do your own research. Kung halimbawa, now that will also depend on the school. So, if you want to go to Bulso, for example, or you want to go to UP, or very specific kasi, halimbawa, if you're, I think for industrial engineering, it's 5 years. Tama ba, sirs? Tama, di ba? 5 years.
Depende sa
Okay.
school.
5 years po.
Or depende sa school. Now, if you go to sciences, minsan 4 years, 'di ba? Now, kung talaga masipag ka, di kuhanin mo ng 3 years, 'di ba? Pero that particular kung hinahabol mo nasagot dito is yung the shortest time possible for you to graduate. Okay? It's up to you to research, 'di ba? Now, pwede ako ang masisigurado ko lang masagot sa inyo would be yung pagdating sa College of Business kasi nandun ako related, di ba? Yun yung specialization ko. Pag BS Accountancy ka, it takes you 5 years. Okay? Now, syempre, pag BS Accountancy ka, you have the board exam. It's another half a year of review or 1 year of review. So, depende sa'yo kung kailan mo na. So, it takes you 6 years to get your license. Okay? Tapos, ngayon, meron pang proposal that before you take the board exams, you need 2 years of relevant work experience. Okay, so kung gaano kahaba ka makakatapos ng college, or I think kung iniisip ko gaano kahaba ka matatapos mag-aral, you don't really stop learning. You learn every day. Diba? So yun yung lagi kong tatandaan. Huwag ka matakot matuto, that will help you a lot. Okay? Thank you. So I hope I answered the question.
Thank you, Sir Ronald. Unfortunately, lampas-lampas na tayo sa ating scheduled time. We have a lot of questions here left. We'll try to address some of these other questions in a different format. But for now, we'll move forward with our program. So at this time, thank you once again to our speakers for sharing their time and their experience with our students. At this time, I would like to call again our principal of the junior high school department, Mrs. Corazon A. San Pedro, to render the e-certificates for our uh, guests for today. Ma'am Cora. Nagkaroon po yata tayo ng konting technical difficulty. Ma'am Cora is currently unavailable to the administrators. I'll just proceed with the rendering of the certificates. Okay, so on behalf of, or in behalf of our principal, Ma'am Corazon S. San Pedro, I render these certificates to our speakers for today for their sharing in our career orientation for school year 2021-2022. The certificate reads as thus. Sir Flo will present it in a few moments. This certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Mr. Mark Goltiao for sharing his knowledge and experience in the LAMS Junior High School Career Orientation given this 18th day of March 2022. Signed our principal, Mrs. Corazon S. San Pedro, and our school vice president, Ms. Maria Myra M. Pinca. The same certificate is also presented to our other speakers, Mr. Ronald P. Soniga and
Joshua.
Mr. Mrs. Maria Blasilda Pilar M. Sanchez,
Miss. Anong miss?
Miss, Miss, and Mr. Joshua Gabriel D. Phoenix. Thank you once again to our speakers for sharing your time, your experience, and your wisdom. And hopefully, students, we were able to give you a better idea on on what you may expect moving forward, so that you can plan accordingly. Okay. So with that, this is the end of our career orientation. Again, students, hopefully the knowledge shared by our speakers today gave you a clearer vision on how you can proceed with your first with your education up to the senior high school department, and then moving forward, some of you might decide to go to college, others might decide to pursue an early career, others might try their hands at entrepreneurship. Whatever you decide to do or to follow, as our teacher said earlier, don't forget the perseverance, do not forget passion, and do not forget constant learning. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. Before we end our program, everyone, join us in singing our school hymn, the One Voice, One Dream. Sir Flo, take it away.
One voice is calling us to be one in heart, one in mind, one in spirit, one in truth. We can make our dreams come true together. We can reach our future all together. We can make this world a better place because of you. Earth's angels, Montessori, thank you for the gift of love, for the knowledge, for the service, for all that we are.
Ay, bakit nakat?